Today on the channel, Abaddon and the Black Legion will stride across this battlefield with demons. So the Grey Knights are here to drive them back. And this one's going to be a big one. 4,000 points of Grey Knights versus 4,000 points of the Black Legion. Much murdering to be had. Now, because it's 4,000 points, we're going to play an open war game, which keeps it very simple. We've picked some cards from the open war deck. This deployment, last stand, means no morale tests. So we've basically turned off a rule. Again, keeps it simple. And domination, that benefits the person who goes second, because at the end of each battle round, and a battle round consists of 2 player turns, the person who's killed the most units gets 1 point, and the person who controls the most objectives gets 1 point. Nice and simple. And there's 2 objectives down this end of the battle grid, 2 objectives up that end of the battle grid, and 2 in the middle. And all the scenery that you see in front of you is from Games Workshop, some of the OG stuff, except from some of the trees, which I've got from random hobby shops, and the battle mat is from urbanmats.com. Hello, and in charge of the Black Legion is Chewy. Say hi, Chewy.
Hi, Chewy.
And you're bringing Abby the Don.
Abby the Don.
How many times have you played with the Black Legion and Abby since the new thing?
3 or 4.
It's okay. Is he good?
He is very good, yeah.
You know, I have to say this is the first time I've met him on the field of battle. Now, he can only take, well, since there's new changes, he can only take 3 wounds a turn.
3 per phase.
But we've got Psychers, so they can do powers to hurt him in the psychic phase and in the shooting phase. And are you scared?
I'm a little bit concerned. It was double Grey Knights, but, you know.
Double Grey Knights, because you got 4,000 points worth of Black Legion.
Yeah.
But I'm teaming up with Salt and Place. Say hello, Salt and Place.
What's up, bro?
And you got 2,000 points worth of Grey Knights.
I do.
Me and you tag teaming. We're going to tag team against Chewy, okay? So this is going to be a big, brutal 4,000 point game. If you'd like more battle reports from me, then consider becoming a Tier 3 channel member. That unlocks all the battle reports and the campaigns and the Discord. Or you can join me in the deployment zone. Let's go and have a look at these armies. Okay, this is 4,000 points worth of Grey Knights. We've got 2 Brotherhoods here. I'm running the 5th Brotherhood, the Preservers. Sultan's running the 6th Brotherhood, the Rapiers. We're thinking about staying in the Tide of Convergence, which is plus 6 inches to all side cannon weapons and 6 to wound in close combat, do mortal wounds in addition.
Yes.
So we want to get
Up
close.
to a maximum of 6 per unit. That you're
Per
hitting.
unit,
Yeah.
yes. So we want to get close, we want to get choppy to get those mortal wounds out. And of course, all the Grey Knights all know Smite psychic power as well for more mortal wound goodness. And Grey Knights have +1 to deny, and they ignore mortal wounds on a 5+. Now, there's 2 detachments here, and we've spent some CPs. There's a couple of detachments there, and you've spent like 5 CPs. So what we've decided to do, because 18 CP tops out at 3,000 points. So what we decided to do, because it's 4,000 points, is just give both sides 18 CP each. And me and Saltwan are going to share these and argue over who uses which one. At one point, it should be fun. So the 5th Brotherhood, the Preservers. I'm bringing along a simple patrol, Sultan.
A simple patrol.
A simple patrol.
Man.
Yes, for a simple man. Led by a Brotherhood Librarian. He is a psychic epitome, and he knows Purifying Flame and Vortex of Doom, Chewy. Which means that when he does those Witchfire spells, he does 1 additional mortal wound. Basically, he's a mortal wound machine. And I've given him the Fury of Demos, which is a relic Stormbolter, okay? And he's going to be running around with an Apothecary. Because we're the Preservers, the way it works is the Preserver's psychic power is called Aegis Eternal, I believe.
To your jam.
And if you, yes, so if you get off Aegis Eternal with the Terminators, it will give them a 6 up, feel no pain, or a 6 up, feel no pain, or a 6 up. But if there is an Apothecary within 3 inches of them, it gives a 5 up, feel no pain, because Apothecaries just give a 6 up, feel no pain as normal. So it puts that up to 5 up, feel no pain. And then there is a 1 CP strat, so I can put guys back in there that basically the one that Space Marines can do for free when they take their cheeky Librarian. So that's the plan. A unit of 10 Terminators, 2 cannons, 2 side cannons, and the Apothecary will babysit that. I think I'm probably going to deep strike the Librarian in with this unit of 5 Terminators. Then I've got 10 units of 2 units of 5 interceptors, jumpy dudes with hammers in each. 3 lovely vehicles here, gloriously painted to level 4 painting standard by Den of Imagination Painting Studio. Because with the preservers, you can spend a CP to get that Dreadnought up to, it's called Charge of the Ancients, it gets it up to movement 8. It also gives him reroll charges and a damage 4 fist. But I wanted it up to movement 8 because he's a venerable Dreadnought, you see. He hits on 2s, and at movement 8 he can keep up with the 2 Dreadknights that I'm going to have running around who move 9. And so he's hitting on 2s, and with Wisdom of the Ancients, there's a reroll hit roll of 1 aura, which is Wisdom of the Ancients, but it's called a different name because it's 9th edition, that he can chuck out. And he'll chuck it out and run forward with those 2 guys as well. And then, Daka flying through the sky. So that's my list. Basically, one big chunk, another big chunk, and stuff zipping around all over the place. And then we have the 6th Brotherhood.
Yeah.
The Rapiers. What is the Rapier's special psychic thing?
Well, we bring the party to you.
Oh, yeah.
Their special psychic thing is they get an extra attack.
Get extra attack with their psychic power.
Which is, me wanting extra punchy attacks. That doesn't sound like me, does it?
Your basis, the warp is definitely shining a lot brighter.
They've just
on this
teleported into Night City. That's what's happened, yeah.
Well, it's night on one half of the table, not night on the other half.
Just not think about it, all right?
Well,
don't ask questions.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got my Warlord.
Yes.
Which is the Nemesis Dreadnought, Grandmaster of Nemesis Dreadnought armor.
Brilliant.
He is his Warlord trait basically makes people obsec around him, and if they're already obsec, they count as an additional model.
Okay.
I don't know why I chose that, but I did.
Well,
he knows some powers, empiric amplification, which is plus damage to things, and then he knows another power which we won't get into right now. We've got a chaplain, who knows essentially Litany of Hate.
Okay.
And he also knows one that basically gives an additional hit on wound rolls of 6 in combat. Which also stacks with Tide of Convergence.
And rapiers as well. So in close combat with a chaplain around, it's going to be fruity.
Yeah, I painted him special, so he's going to die.
Okay.
And then we've got not a sword brother. What's the captain called? Brother Captain.
So
the lieutenant rerolls.
With a hammer.
He's got a special hammer. Yeah. My apothecary has a hammer.
Okay. Mine's got a halberd.
Mine's got a hammer.
Mine's got a halberd.
And then we've got an ancient who also gives +1 attack aura. I think you can see where I'm going with this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's an extra attack.
Yeah.
He can give out 6s explode.
Yes.
Plus rapiers. You really want to punch.
I just like smacking things. Yes. Yeah. We've got a purifier squad at the back here with purifying flame and some falchions. Then we've got a strike squad with a silencer.
Okay.
And then we've got another strike squad with a hammer on the Justicar and an incinerator, because I bought these second hand. Mm-hmm. And then we've got 3 squads of 5 Terminators.
Nice.
Backed up by 2 Dreadknights, one with hammer, one with sword, both with Psy Cannon and silencer.
So in total we've got 5 Dreadknights.
Yeah, we didn't know this until today. So Chewie's gonna.
We don't have much.
Have his work cut out for him.
We don't have much long-range Daka though. There's some las cannons on the Stormraven gunships, not Stormraven, Storm Talon gunships, and on my Venerable Dreadnought there. That is our ranged attack. But we're Grey Knights. We want to get in there because the closer you get to Grey Knights, the closer you get to all their psychic
24-inch army
nastiness. Yeah, it is a very much a 24-inch army. So will the Black Legion stay back and cower like they should? Or they come right at us? Well, let's take a look at the Black Legion army. Here's 4,000 points worth of Black Legion with Abbey of the Dawn, a Lord of War there. Black Legion are +1 to hit when they shoot the closest thing, so there's going to be a lot of hitting on 2s, and +1 weapon skill when they charge in.
Yes.
So there'll be a lot of hitting on 2s. And would you like to talk us through your army?
Yeah, we will start with, I don't need to really introduce him. I've had to print out all of his special rules because he's got like a page load of command phase stuff.
Crazy good.
Yeah, he is very good.
Well, doesn't he? He gets like reroll hit rolls of 1 aura.
Yeah.
And then he points at a unit and they can reroll all hit rolls as well.
And if they're Black Legion, wound rolls.
Really?
Yeah.
So he points at, is that a unit and reroll all hits and reroll all wounds?
Yeah, pretty much. But I can't suddenly quote them. But there's also one that he can select wanton slaughter.
Yes.
If we're in the destruction or massacre. So we can select a unit and go, right, you're
in that one instead of that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Because you've got 6s explode with certain weapons as the game goes on. A bit like Tactical Assault Devastator, but a little bit better. Okay. So yeah, he's really cool. And he's absolutely a beat stick, and he can only take 3 wounds a phase.
Yes.
Okay.
So with him is a demon with wings.
Demon. That's why the Grey Knights are here.
But he's got the Mark of Slaanesh, so
Okay.
he can hit first, so he always attacks first.
Okay.
And then you've got an undivided sorcerer. The Demon Prince has got Death Hex and got Prescience and Diabolic Strength with the Terminator sorcerer.
So your demon with Death Hex can point at a unit and remove their invulnerable saves.
Yes.
Nasty.
Yeah, if you don't deny it,
If
which
I
you
don't
probably
deny
can. So then you've got 5 lots of 5 attack squads. The 2 at the back are Mark of Khorne.
Okay.
With Icon as well. So you've got the -1 to AP and other shenanigans as well.
Yep.
And then you've got the bolter ones here are Mark of Slaanesh, so it's -1 to any range attacks. AP.
Okay. So the Khorne one's -1 when they punch. The Slaanesh one's -1 when they shoot.
Yeah.
I like it.
And then they're just undivided, so they've got nothing because of points.
Okay.
So 2 lots of Khorne Berserkers.
Oh,
2
yes.
squads of 8.
Yes.
Who are going to be loaded up in rhinos.
Yes.
You've got a 10-man squad of Warp Talons.
How are you getting on with Warp Talons?
Do you know what? They're a scary unit, and everyone will have to get rid of them first before they. And I've also given them Black Rune.
The Black Rune of Damnation.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know.
So that is, they count as...
So basically,
-1
-1
to wound them.
Yeah. And any psychers within 18, any doubles are perils.
Perils.
Oh,
Yeah.
that could be dangerous for us.
Yeah.
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 We're all psychers with it.
I wrote the list up not thinking I was going to take on Grey Knights, but hey, you know, one
Well,
of
we're
those
here
things.
now.
We're here now. Here now.
You
what
brought-
I can do.
You've got Demon. This guy
Abaddon's
must
not
die.
Oh, okay, it's cool, fine.
Yeah.
They're still Imperium, still cool.
Does Abaddon know who Chapter 666 are?
I think he's probably knows. He's been around long enough, hasn't he?
He's been around for a while, yeah.
Yeah. He's probably going, Darrow!
He's read the codex.
Darrow!
He's read the codex.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then you've got 3 obliterators.
Nice.
Then you've got two 5-man squads of Terminators. One with all the flame, so let the galaxy burn. Oh yes. And then you've got melters with a heavy flamer.
Nice.
And then a squad of raptors. And in the back got 2 predator annihilators.
2 Trilas Predators.
Yeah. And then of course you've got the Khitan.
The Catan. Is this 2 units of 3 bikes as well, or 1 unit of 6?
1 unit 6. Sorry.
1
Yeah.
unit 6. And this Catan, he's got many wounds. He's basically an Imperial Knight, right?
Yes.
Is it a
He's
Lord
a
of
lord.
War?
It
Yes,
is
it is
a
Lord of
Lord of War. So interestingly, you don't have a lot of DAC here either. I mean, you have obliterators with prescience are going to be absolutely brutal, and the Trilas Predators are going to be absolutely brutal. But it's a list that wants to come forward and murder. Abaddon definitely wants to come forward and murder with some psychic shenanigans, which the Grey Knights might be able to block. Let's go on to deployment. And so here we are after deployment. The big bad Catan is taking up position in the middle of the table. 26 wounds.
Yes.
Absolute nasty. And next to him is Abaddon. Thoughts on your deployment, Chewie?
I've got to be cautious of the Grey Knights because they're not to be really trifled with. So, but it's going to be a case of kill lots because you are Imperium after all.
Yes.
And seize lots. So it is a
Right.
case of just getting on there and
Well, that's the name of the game. Kill lots, seize lots.
Yeah,
So I like it.
it's chaos. So chaos, Imperium need to die.
You are chaos.
I am chaos. My mind is chaos right now.
Who's in these fellas over here?
So these are the 2 Berserker units.
Right.
Okay, supported by some bikes because I don't want them to charge up on their own.
Okay. Guns in the middle.
In this one, this is the Zinch attack squads, 2 of them. So they're all bird up, 2 squads of 5.
Okay.
And they're the chainsaw core ones
Right.
in there.
And then you got the Raptors, the Warp Talons on this side with a demon. And
Yep.
facing this side of you is my force. Me and Sultan have basically split in half. I've kept the 5 units of Terminators in reserve along with my Psychic Bomb, the Librarian. And the jumpy guys are really quick, so they're back there. Some Terminators with the Apothecary to keep them safe, and then all the vehicles up this end. And Sultan has spread out across the line. He's put his Purifiers and 1 unit of Terminators in reserve as well. His banner standing firm, which will give all the Terminators, all the core infantry units around him, +1 attack down there. I think he means to take this flank. I mean to take the other flank. There is some very large line of sight blocking terrain in the middle of the table as well. We're treating this as 1 terrain piece. So if you're in it, you can shoot people in it or shoot out of it. But if someone's on that side over here, and someone's on this side over here, you won't be able to shoot through it because it's all smoking and wreathed with. So it's one big sky tower there, all smoking and wreathed in flame. And of course, lots of -1 to hit with all the trees around the edges as well. So now we need to roll off. The CEO goes first, and he's downstairs making tea. So
he's a very nice boy, isn't he?
He is, yeah. So between you and me. Good luck, sir. After you.
Where do you want it? Shall we put it here?
This looks good. That's a 5. I rolled a 6. Now, we can choose whether to go first or second. See, this is interesting. Because if we go first, I've got some las cannons that can flash out toward you, and we can move up the table. But going second is powerful because you score at the end of the turn. So, I don't know. Sultan, come back to me. Here we are after the Grey Knights movement phase. Sultan and I took advantage of first turn so we could take some board position and put down some psychic defensive strats, such as Armoured Resilience on the Venerable Dreadnought here, which is aiming up at the table, looking at the side of that Rhino, and the Warp Talons in the trees. One of my units of Inceptors has jumped over onto that objective because, where is it? That objective. Because you get a point for every objective that you control at the end of the battle round. And then my Apothecary put the Sanctuary on them. So they have a 4+ invulnerable save. Dreadnought has a 2-up save. And I'm on 2 objectives down here. Also being cheeky with the flyers there. Because Abaddon and some Khorne Berserkers and some Terminators. See, these are they're in trouble with it. They've got a 4-up invulnerable save. But they could potentially be in charge. But you have to charge straight past the flying bases and get an inch away from them to make that, you see. Otherwise you're right beneath a Storm Talon and they'll just chew you up. So a bit of move blocking with the flyers. And talking about jumping forward to get on as many objectives as we can, we spent 2 CP in the movement phase to teleport shunt. You bought teleport shunters on all your dreadnoughts.
Yeah.
Dread Knights.
Yes.
So you've jumped forward onto that objective there. I haven't got personal teleporters on any of mine, but he's on that one. So we're on all 4 objectives, 1, 2, 3, 4 down here. And as for other buffs, they have Hammer Hand.
They have Hammer Hand. And then these guys, not that it matters, but these guys are double OBSEC because of his Warlord trait.
Brilliant. So now we're going to shoot some guns. The first fusillade of shots will come from this Dread Knight here, spending CP on Psychic Onslaught to increase the strength and AP, firing at the Predator in the middle, which is Pop Smoke. Hitting on 4s with a side cannon and re-rolling for 1s. 4 1s right there. And this will wound. With Psychic Onslaught, it'll actually wound on 3s. Re-rolling 1s.
No re-rolls.
Nope. And those are 5-up saves. And you only take 4 wounds. Now the Gatling Silencer on 4s and re-roll the 1s.
No 1s.
And 5s.
Re-rolling the 1s.
Yes. Because there is a captain there.
4. -2.
Okay, 4-up saves. And that's another wound. And then we're going to rinse and repeat with this one, which isn't buffed up at all.
Yep.
Firing at the same target. 4s to hit with a side cannon. And that is 4 hits. And 4s to wound now, because Chaos Predators are toughness 8. So instead of toughness 7, they're toughness 8. But we can't complain.
They needed it, yeah.
Well, how long did they only have 1 wound? Forever, right?
It felt like forever with everyone complaining about it, yeah.
That's another 2 damage. Gatling, smoke obscuring most of the firepower there, and only causing 1 more wound. And you fail that save. Takes another 1. Are you going to fire the Grandmaster at the same target? Or
I'm not sure the Grandmaster's in range of the same target. Well, you might have to shoot at a Rhino.
We have 30-inch range because of the Tide of Convergence. Yeah, normally 24 inches with the Gatling with these weapons.
Buzz.
But 30 because of the Tide. He hits on 2s, which comes 3s, and he misses every single shot with the Gatling with the heavy side cannon.
Yeah.
Just the smoke obscures the target 1 more time, and these will hit on 3s.
5s.
4 more wounds, sir. 4 more. Why did I say it like that? 3-up saves because of Armor of Contempt. There's 1, and just 1 more. And that's all the shots from the left flank, from the Rapiers. How many wounds is the Predator on?
2.
2 remaining. So let's fire a Storm Talon. You pop smoke, right?
Yeah.
I'll fire everything from Storm Talon number 1 into it. Okay? Let's take out one of them. This will hit on 4s with my las cannons. And they both miss. Assault cannons on 4s. And 5s to wound. 2 more wounds, 2 more 3-up saves, Chewie. It's still on, 2 wounds remaining. Okay. Second Storm Talon. I can't believe it's going to take 3 Dread Knights and 2 Storm Talons to take it down. If I manage to hit with a las cannon and wound. No. And I don't wound with a las cannon. Okay, let's command point it. It doesn't wound with a las cannon. Okay. Do you like the new dice, by the way?
They're pretty, but they don't roll very well.
Well, look at that. 4s to hit. Look at that. That hit. That rolled really well. 5s to wound.
Because I insulted them.
Yeah. 2 more wounds. 3 more wounds. 3 more. 3-up saves.
Oh. I'm going to re-roll that one. Yeah. Fine.
It's still on 2 wounds remaining. This is... Now, getting down and checking line of sight and range, my Venerable Dreadnought can't actually see it because there's too much stuff in the way.
This big guy just stepped in front of him.
Well, and there's flyers and things and rhinos. And so the Venerable Dreadnought is going to fire its las missile launcher at Rhino. Okay?
Yep.
Hits on 2s because Venerable. And that's the las, and it'll wound on 3s, and those are 2 wounds, and you need 5-up saves against that because of Armour of Contempt. Then you box it, you boss it, box it, missile, hits, wounds, 4-up save. Stop it, Chewie. Okay, so we're going to move round to the squad of interceptors. We're going to fire at some Terminators because why not? They're right there. And wound the Terminators on 4s, and those are 3 2-up saves on your Terminators. Maybe I can tickle one. I don't tickle any. Behind the interceptors, the Terminators will unload into the Black Legion Terminators as well, protecting Abaddon there. I've got 2 side cannons in that squad, so they only hit on 4s. And I do wound. It's still a 2-up save though, because of Armour of Contempt. And you make it. And then a hail of Stormbolter fire fires out, and drop dice don't count. Right, I picked them up. These are my wounds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just 4 wounds. 4 more 2-up saves. Where you going? We're going over here.
Yeah.
Those Terminators walk through fire. No wounds caused to them whatsoever. Now I'm coming across to the Dread Knights. There are there are Warp Talons there. Let's fire up Warp Talons. I know it's -1 to hit because of trees and things, but that's a lot of pain. That's going to jump out towards my lines, and they're very, very quick. So if I can cut some of them down. Here's side cannon number 1, hitting on 4s and wounding on 2s. That wounds, and you need a 4-up save. And you make that. Sorry, they have the black wound, so that would have been 3s. You made the save anyway.
Yeah.
Here's the Gatling Gun of Doom. Only 3 hits. 4 hits, sorry. Strength 5 versus Toughness 4 would normally be 3s to wound, but 4s to wound because of the Black Ruin of Damnation. So 2 3-up saves. Red Knight number 2, Sultan.
Hi.
He's saving everything.
Or maybe we're just failing to hit.
Everything. 4s to wound. This is psychic. Right, that's 3 more 3-up saves. 1 damage each with the Gatling Silencer. See, Sultan, he's passing everything. It's like they're blessed by chaos or something.
Oh.
The big side cannon. This will wound on 3s. Okay, that wounds. These are 4-up saves. It's AP -2. Yay! 3 of them die. 3. That's 2 damage each.
2 damage, yeah.
I do manage to take 3 of them out. Remember, we are playing no morale tests at all in this game. Last stand from the open war deck, because at that point, that is the end of our shooting phase. And what have we done? We haven't killed a predator. And you need to kill. You get points for killing a unit every turn. We haven't killed any. You get a point for killing more or holding more. At least we're on 4 objectives. And domination, yes, that's it. Kill more, hold more. At least we're on 4 objectives, so we might be able to hold more. Should be able to protect this objective down here, but we are inviting a counter charge up the gut with this Nemesis Dread Knight. But the Black Legion withstood that firepower from the Grey Knights very, very well. So let's see how they respond in Black Legion. Turn 1. What was that?
I was just saying, I like to think that all the Black Legion legionnaires and everyone there are just really psyched to see Abaddon on the table. So like, whoa, come on!
That's exactly how it's. I love it. And here we are after the Black Legion's movement phase. The Warp Talons jumping forward with the demons. Looks like they're lining up some charges here, potentially into the Storm Talon, who took a smite and took a wound. The unit behind have got out of this rhino, and that you're double teaming that objective now, and there's still another unit inside that rhino there. So an objective secured, wounds off the Storm Talon, and charges lined up in the middle of the battle grid. You put power on Abaddon?
Yeah, Diabolic Strength.
Diabolic Strength. Buffed him up. You perils for it though, so your Librarian, your Sorcerer, is down to 4 wounds remaining, and you've also buffed up the unit with Abaddon as well. Those Terminators are re-rolling all hits and all wounds, and 6s explode. Basically, he's given them Wanton Slaughter, so those melter shots will explode, and Wanton Slaughter, 6s explode in close combat. Round here, this unit got outside of the Rhino before it moved and advanced onto that objective, and they're troops. They've stolen that objective off of us, and you've advanced the Catan. So it means he's not going to be shooting this turn, but there is a once per game stratagem. Tell us about the once per game stratagem.
It's called Confidence of Traitors, which means it can use, as a command point, can use any trait of every other legion. So he's used the Red Corsairs one to advance and able to charge.
Okay, so this is only going to happen to us once this game.
Yes.
So he's ran forward, not shooting his big gun, but he will be able to charge that Dread Knight. You've already taken the objective, but we're going to have some first turn charges here. And then over on this flank, a cautious approach from the other Rhinos and the Bikers. You also have a CP on Diabolic Machines or something?
It's Blasphemous Machines.
That's the one, which means the Predator, even though it's on 2 wounds left, counts as on full profile when it's shooting. That's it for all the psychic shenanigans. Now we're going to shoot some guns. We started the shooting phase with some incidental firepower coming from here into the Dread Knights, causing no wounds. But now we're coming on to the Chaos Terminator squad. Already a wound's been put on by, I forget, something back there. But they're firing everything up at the Storm Talon gunship. There's 2 combi melters in that squad. And even though I'm flying, you're hitting on 3s because of Abaddon.
Yeah.
And they both hit. With Wanton Slaughter, that's 3 hits. And you can reroll all failed wounds. And everything wounds. Now with Armor of Contempt, I need 6s. I don't make any 6s. And this is 3d6 damage. And we have a Storm Talon down. We have a Storm Talon down, which does not blow up. Then the Sorcerer down there has a combi melter as well. He's going to fire up at the Talon. And that does hit. And it doesn't wound. But it's not over. More shots come up into the sky from the Predator. Here's the, is this the turret one? Or the other one?
This is the side sponsoon.
Side sponsoons, hitting on 4s because you're firing into... Why 3s?
Closest eligible unit.
Oh yeah, that's a hit.
And I might re-roll that one. Yeah.
Is that a CP reroll?
Yeah.
Okay, 3s to wound. I see wound. 2 wounds. I need 5s. I make 1 d6 damage. Is 4 damage. It's on 5 remaining, and now the turret gun fires up at the sky.
With an additional.
Yeah, so that explodes. That's 2 hits, 3s to wound. They both wound. 2 5-up saves. I make 1 again. And with 5 wounds to
Plus
get
2.
through, plus 2.
Because of the soul, it's a soul destroyer.
Yeah, their turret weapons are better than they're better than the Space Marine ones. Basically, their tank's better than our tanks. Do you remember all that time when we had an extra wound? The flyer doesn't blow up, but both flyers have been taken out by the firepower of the Black Legion. So at the start, I said the Black Legion didn't have much firepower, but I forgot about their pluses to hit when they're in close range. Absolutely brutal. The flyers didn't last very long. Now this squad, which advanced, firing at the Dread Knight, hitting on a 3 because it's the closest unit. And that's a hit. It'll wound on a 3.
Yep.
And that's a wound. 4 up in Van Sultan. And you make the save. So Predator number 2 is going to follow through and fire at the same target. 2s to hit as well. Here's the side sponsoon weapons. 1 of them hits. It'll wound on a 3. And it wounds 4 up in Van. Nice. We make the save. And now the big turret weapon of Doom, which is d6 plus 2 damage. Both of them hit.
And an additional because of wanton destruction.
Yeah. 3 hits. 3 wounds, 3 4+ invulnerable saves. You make 2 of them. If you want a command point, now's the time. You make 2 of them. and take 6 damage.
Plus 2, is it?
The Dread Knight is on 7 wounds remaining. Then on the flanks, more shots came into the Dread Knight, and it made all of its 2-up saves. That is the end of the shooting phase. You've already killed 2 things, so you've got a point. Now you mean to charge. We have a Catan going up the gut. I don't think there's really any point in overwatching. We might be able to tickle a couple of wounds off of him, but
I'll wait.
It is going through a crater though, so don't roll low.
Okay.
You rolled a 3. That's low.
I'm going to re-roll that for CP.
And that's an 8.
Yeah.
He definitely comes stomping all the way through. Crash. Chaos meets purity in the centre of the battle grid. Meanwhile, over here, the Warp Talons are robbed of their target they wanted to assault. The Storm Talon are going to attempt a 9-inch charge into these interceptors here. And that's a Snake Eyes. They fail that charge. So now, the only fight we have is Catan versus Dread Knight. The Catan Ravager raises his cleaver and smashes on 2s because he's Black Legion. And hits 4 times. Strength 16, he's going to wound on 2s. And what's that one? That one? And that is 4 wounds. Now, each of these does a flat 6 damage. Yeah. With a 4+ invulnerable save, you need to make 3 of these, Sultan. And you make 1. And none, yeah. And the Nemesis Dread Knight gets smushed. The Catan consolidates forward, and that is the end of battle round 1. The Black Legion have definitely killed more for 1 point, but they're currently on 1, 2, 3 objectives, and we're on 3 objectives. So no one's on more objectives for that additional point. So at the end of turn 1, it's 1 point to 0 for the forces of chaos, but they are stepping forward into the Grey Knight grinder. They hit us hard that turn, so the Grey Knights need to return the favour in Grey Knight's turn 2. The Grey Knights stride forward to take on this reckless hate over here. Hammer hand on this knight, but not the other knight, and armoured resilience on my Dreadnought, and we have a target right in front of us. In the middle, I didn't manage to get Aegis Eternal off, but that's fine because I've jumped forward with this unit of interceptors and I'm not going to charge. I'll stay there and try and move block a little bit. And the Terminators are on that objective anyway, and they are objective secured, and I don't think anything here is objective secured. So I think we've definitely got that objective there. In the middle, however, there was Vortex of Dooms and smite, super smites and all sorts of things. And your 26 wound Catan is down to 10 wounds remaining. You step forward into the smite blender and he is crackling with etheric energy right now. Proud of myself. Even after spending a point on Scorn of Sorcery to stop one of the powers.
Empiric amplification, yeah, I didn't get that off. I did get my Litany off though, which does the 6s explode in combat.
Brilliant, okay. Cool. Then the rest of the heroic Grey Knights stride forward round here. Meanwhile, the Purifiers dropped in on this flank and they increased their range of their psychic power and killed one of the bikers with a purifying flame. So mortal wounds are erupting across the line, particularly hurting the Catan. And the Terminators down here have Symphonic Strike for an extra attack. I think you mean to send them into this squad.
I'd like to.
Yeah, because their troops, your troops, and the charge will get us onto that objective.
Yeah, and they're double obsec because of his Warlord trait.
Brilliant, I like it. As long as they stay within 6 inches of him. Exactly, but after piling it, we can do that. We can make that work. But now we're all up in the Black Legion's shizzle, and we really need to make them scream. So I'll start this turn over on this flank. I started off the shooting phase with the Interceptors down here, firing into that squad, causing no wounds. And I've spent the CP on Wisdom of the Ancients, or whatever it's called for the Dreadnought. So here I can re-roll hit rolls of 1. And these 2 Dread Knights are going to fire everything into the Warp Talons. So do you mind if I do it all together? Because it's all hitting and wounding are the same. So here are the heavy side cannons, which will hit on 3s and re-roll 1s because of the not Wisdom of the Ancients. And it would normally wound on 2s, but wounding on 3s because of the Black Ruin of Damnation. Now these are all 4-up saves, Chewie, and every failed save will kill a Warp Talon. And you only kill 2. I only kill 2. See, these dice are available from the deploymentzone.tv merchandise page. Alright, the side cannons will definitely do it, because this is 24 shots between the 2 of them. Re-rolling 1s because of not Wisdom of the Ancients, that was a hit. But it is 4s to wound. That's bad. 3+ saves, Chewie. Each doing 1 damage. Basically kill 1 more. All of their firepower with the Wisdom of the Ancients rippling out. And only 3 of the Warp Talons fall. Right, my Venerable Dreadnought can now see that Predator over there on 2 wounds remaining. So I'm going to shoot it.
Smoke.
Smoke again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Worked last time.
Yeah, it did. I'm hitting on 3s because he's Venerable. I'm wounding on 3s with the last cannon. And I'm going to spend a CP. And I don't wound. Missile? I can reroll 1s because of the wisdom hits. Forced to wound with a missile. Wounds. You need a 3-up, -2. 4-up save.
Ooh.
He failed the save. Command point?
Yeah, I'm
D6.
gonna command point. Right.
Right.
D6.
Finally,
It goes.
the Prednor. Prednor? The Predator is down.
Might as
and
well have been a Prednor.
Prednor. It's gone. It doesn't explode. It took so much firepower, but it's finally gone. My Terminators in the centre can't fire along with the Apothecary because we had to advance because we were in this crater to get onto that objective there. But I do have a chunk of Storm Bolters which can fire at point blank range into all those Terminators there. After rolling the hit and wound, 6 wounds come through, 6 2-up saves, and the Terminators walk through fire. So I killed a Predator and some Warp Talons. Over to you, my fine friend. So Psychic Onslaught on this Dread Knight here, firing everything at the 10 wound Catan. Here's the side cannon. Rerolling 1s because there's a Grandmaster nearby. And this is strength 9 now with the CP. Rerolling 1s because the captain's there. That's 2 wounds come through to at -2. Which becomes -3. -5-up saves. 5-up saves. Each doing 2 damage. Same. Nothing happened. The shot spanked harmlessly off its hull. And now the side cannon, the Gatling side cannon goes brrr. And you roll 4 2s.
What does it do?
Is it cold?
It goes brrr. That's definitely what an A10 Warthog sounds like, right? 5s to wound, re-rolling the 1s. And that is 4 3-up saves, each doing 1 damage. No, your saving throws have been on point, my friend. So the Grand Master is going to show his brother how it's done. He's not. He's not, is he? He is. He's going to hit 3 times. These are 4-up saves, Chewie. And you make 2 of them. Gatling gun goes brrr. A10 Warthog. Right, 11 hits. 5s to wound.
Nice.
That is 5 wounds. 5 3-up saves. What dice don't count? Oh. So all the firepower from the Dread Knights only put 1 wound on the Catan. Then we had a mastercrafted Storm Bolter which was saved. What else we got?
Terminators can probably shoot through those Terminators if you'd like to have some help.
Yeah, so the Terminators here are in the ruin. They're going to fire out into the enemy Terminators. They're spinning a CP on the Steel Heart, so they're hitting on 2s. Final
side cannon, which is heavy, so 3s.
Thanks for 3s.
Rerolling 1s, hits every time. Strength 7, toughness less than. 3s, rerolling 1s.
Rerolling hit rolls and wound rolls here because the Grand Master and the Captain, these are 3-up saves. And one of them was wounded.
But it ignores it because it's inch.
Brilliant. Now we have all the bolter fires hitting on 2s and rerolling 1s. With 4s to wound.
Rerolling 1s again.
Because the Captain. Now hopefully Chewie fails a bunch of 2-up saves. 8 2-up saves.
Oh.
You do. You failed 2.
It kills the one who'd ignored it.
Just kills 1.
After the Grey Knight Terminators lit up the Black Legion Terminators, all the characters around the Catan fired everything into him. Took another wound off of him. How many wounds is he on left?
It's on 7.
7 wounds remaining. And across here, some Terminators firing through trees and purifiers. Firing at the bikers down here. Took 2 wounds off a bike. They have Mark of Zinch as well, ignoring the first damage coming in. The purifiers could be in trouble for a countercharge. But that is the end of our shooting phase and our psychic phase. We've significantly hurt the Catan and injured some Terminators. Took out that Predator. Now we need to make some charges. You can't fail.
These 2 can't. I need to get them in.
Yeah,
there,
these Terminators really need to make that charge. -2 because of all the stuff.
Can I use our reroll if I need it?
Oh yeah, we want to get on that objective. Reroll. Please, new dice. I love it. That's a 4-inch charge. -2. I think we failed the charge. The rubble and the ruins tangle the feet of the Terminators. They fail the charge. Both of the Dread Knights managed to get into the Catan, though. But other units fail to charge in. Over here, the Purifiers need a 10-inch charge to get to those bikers.
Now
And they don't make that charge. And then over this side, I think I need an 8 with the Dread Knight to get into the Warp Talons. And that's a 7. Let me double check my ranges. Yeah, that 5-inch charge was enough to get it in there. The second Dread Knight fails the charge, but this Dreadnought, he's got charge of the Ancients upgrade. So he can reroll charges. And on a 3-inch charge, it looks like he needs to reroll charges. And that's a 6 because of the crater. He won't get in as well. So failed charges across the line. So the firepower of the Black Legion pushing the Grey Knights back and making them fail a number of charges. Starting the fight phase, we're to come down here against the Catan. Where you starting, Sultan?
This one, because he's got all his rerolls and exploding things.
But that's the Grand Master.
Yeah.
And he's got an extra attack.
Yeah, but he doesn't have all the rerolls and exploding things.
Okay. So overhand swing.
Yes.
5 attacks at the Catan. 3s to hit. And then you're re-rolling because you've got your Chaplain Litany off, right?
No, it's he's the exploding one.
It's the exploding one. Yeah. Okay. So these are 3s to wound.
Rerolling the 1.
2 wounds. Just 2. 2 invulnerable saves. You make damage. 1, fail 1. It is D6 damage. You're not going to kill it. It's on 7 left.
2.
And drop it down to 5 wounds remaining. And then at this point,
I'm going to interrupt. Yeah.
You can interrupt here. Or you can interrupt with your Warp Talons over here.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's just going to...
Really? I mean, he's got 13 wounds remaining. And he'll have a 3-up save against all of your Clawy Claws. No, you're interrupting with the Catan and spending a CP on Fury of the Corn. So any 6s to hit explode. And Demon Forge.
Yeah.
So you would normally be hitting on 5s. But with Demon Forge, you're hitting on 4s.
Yeah.
And because of Black Legion, you're back to hitting on 3s.
No, it's only if I charge.
Only if you charge.
Yeah.
So 4s.
Yeah.
With 5 attacks. Hitting the Grand Master. Now, the Grand Master had a once per game upgrade.
Yeah, with something of the Prognosticars or whatever. It's one of those upgrades. He's got a 3-up invern once per game.
So he's doing it now.
I think this is the time,
Yeah, I think it is the time. Can he withstand the attacks?
There's a giant Axeman
from the Catan on 4s. And there is 3 hits, but one of those was the 6s, so it exploded, right?
Yeah, that's automatic wound.
Oh, so 1 wound's already, and then the others wound on 2s. And you got 3 through, didn't you?
Yeah, I got 3 through. Well, I got 3 through, but 1 was a 6.
Okay.
So
So 3 invulnerable saves.
3 ups.
3 plus.
Oh.
Each does a flat 6 damage. Command point. Okay, so he takes 6 wounds. He's on 7 remaining. And now he can fight back. The Grand Master will hit on 2s. And with his overhand swing, he'll wound on 3s. And that 6 does a mortal wound in addition.
Yes.
And these are 2 5 plus invulnerable saves.
At the end, and it's D6 damage.
Yeah. That's 3.
That's a weird.
And the Catan is on 1 wound remaining. The Grey Knights tried to drag it down, but it's smoking, it's bleeding oil. It's not out of the fight yet. So we come over here to my Dread Knight, punching some Warp Talons. Now, this Dread Knight will hit them with his fists on 3s. He's going to wound them on 2s, and you need 5 plus invulnerable saves. And he kills 3 of them, punches 3 of them down. Sorry, he would have wound on 3s because of Black Rune of Damnation. I'm not piling in. I don't want him to fight back. He can stay there. Also, I've got 2 units now on those objectives there. He's within 3 and the Terminators are within 3, and that is the end of our turn. Not charging with the Interceptors either. Which means at the end of Grey Knight's turn 2, we've only killed 1 unit and we're still on 3 objectives. The Grey Knights have not advanced their position at all. But what they have done is there's a lot less over here all of a sudden. The Catan is very, 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 very injured. And we've suddenly got a weight of Grey Knights around the left flank as well. Remember, there's still some legionaries in those tanks though, as well as the bikers. But at 1.0 and on the same number of objectives and only killing 1 unit means that the Black Legion can still take advantage of this battle grid. Have Abaddon and his legionaries got the advantage here? Let's find out in Black Legion turn 2. At the end of the Black Legion movement phase, enemies have teleported in all across the battle grid. Down here in my corner, there's some Raptors and a unit of Terminators trying to take this objective off the Grey Knight interceptors. Over here, both of the units are now outside the Rhino, zoning for some deep strike over here yourself. Yeah. And it looks like you want to go charging into the Dread Knight. You also mean to put Death Hex on him, so good luck from the Demon Prince.
Nope.
And that doesn't go off. That would have stripped him of his invulnerable save. Abaddon buffed up that unit of 4 Terminators now again, so they're re-rolling all hits and all the wounds, and they've got all the shenanigans and stuff. And he's not below. We put him on top so you can see. He's not on top. He's below. He's down below there. We put him there so you can see him. Titanic units can fall back and shoot. And this is a rule that says it can charge. So he's fallen back because he can shoot and charge. And you spent a CP on what now again?
Basically blasphemous machines, because it's a vehicle, so it can hit like it was normal.
So he's gone from 1 wound back to 2 wounds because he's a demonic engine. And he counts as if he's on his full profile. Yeah. Absolutely nasty. And there are some Black Legionaries coming up behind him, and the Obliterators teleported in back there as well. So a lot of pressure on the right and left flank. Meanwhile, over here, pressure on the this flank as well. Khorne Berserkers are charging down towards this unit of Purifiers. There's still a unit of Khorne Berserkers in that tank. Yeah. That one, though, is empty. Every time we kill some, more comes spilling out. Not that we've killed very many, to be fair.
You've poked a wasp nest.
We've poked the wasp nests.
And now wasps are black and gold.
They are black and gold. Yeah,
that was cheese.
I like it. Any more psychic powers, sir? Prescience on the Obliterators? Yeah. Surely, yes. That's a fail.
Yeah.
Do you want a command point reroll that, or are you happy with that?
Oh, I'm happy with that. I'm going to smite.
And smite. Okay, smite away. That's an 8. Yeah. I need an 8 to deny. I don't deny you. D3 mortal wounds for 3 mortal wounds. Which Grey Knight shrug on 5s? And I don't take any. Wow. We are masters of the warp. None of the Black Legion psychic powers managed to manifest there. But now we're on to the shooting phase. Bolt guns light up the Dread Knight on this flank, hitting them on 2s, re-rolling the 1s because there's a Demon Prince nearby. And 6s explode because it's turn 2.
Yep.
5s to wound though. And I do get a 2-up save. Only 2 wounds come through.
You get 3-up save because of -1, because it's Zinch.
-1 +1, no, because armor of contempt. Yeah. So I make both my saves. Cool. And there's an overcooking plasma coming in hot. And it hits both times. That was a 2 and a 3. And it wounds on 3s. And it wounds once. And I don't make that save. The Dread Knight is on 11 wounds remaining. Now this unit is going to light them up. Firing through the trees, and the Rhino as well joining in. Didn't manage to put any additional wounds on the Dread Knight. Now we're coming across to the unit of Terminators, firing at the Interceptors at point blank range. Here are their bolter weaponry. Re-rolling all hits and 6s exploding means that you do this number of wounds.
Re-rolling wounds.
Oh yeah. 9 wounds. 3-up saves. I make them all.
Wow.
They have 2 combi melters in that squad though. 3s and 2s, and I need 6s, and 1 of them will die at this range. Yeah. And there's also a heavy flamer there, which is D6 plus 2 because of let the galaxy burn, wounding on 3s, and re-rolling all fair wounds.
I thought it was just because they nicked the Tau guns.
And another Grey Knight falls. There are 3 remaining, then the Rhino and the Sorcerer joined in, caused no more wounds. Now we're coming across to the middle. And you're lighting up the Nemesis Grandmaster with this squad here. There is a Melter in that squad as well. Yeah. What are we firing first? Huh?
I'll do the pistols first.
Okay. Bunch of pistols into the Grandmaster, hitting on 2s, wounding on 5s.
1.
He makes the save. And the Melter hits because you're Black Legion. But it doesn't wound. Yeah. Then the second squad of Black Legion also tried to shoot the Grandmaster, causing no wounds. So the Catan is going to show it how it's done with his Gatling gun of doom. It's got 8 shots, hitting on 2s because you've buffed him up. It is heavy, so no exploding. But at strength 8, it will wound on 3s. And at -2 with armor of contempt, you have 3-up saves. And each does 2 damage. Ooh. So he's on 1 wound left. Can the Rhino finish him off? Hits twice. He is the closest. Wounds on 5s. No, the Rhino can't finish him off. So the Berserkers are going to try and finish it off. There are 3 that are closer to the Dread Knight, which will hit on 2s. And wound on 5s. Cause a wound?
Yeah.
It's dead.
It's dead. There's Bolter from a Khorne Berserker. Finishes them off. And the rest of the Berserkers are firing in at the Purifiers.
So you've got 4 bolt pistols and 1 plasma.
Brilliant.
And then bolt pistols.
Bolt pistols. Wound once.
Yep.
And we make that save. And now the plasma pistol hits. And wounds. 5 up save. And you make that save as well. So lots of shots from bikers coming in. First, actually, a shot came through from the Rhino, put 1 wound on. Now we've got 20 shots from all the bikers firing in hot, and these will hit on 2s. And 6s exploding, causing many hits. Now you win on 4s. This forces the Purifiers to make 12 3-up saves. The injured fella dies, 1 more falls, leaving 3 remaining, and there's 2 melters there as well, Chewie. And both of them hit, the 6 explode, and 2 wounds come through, 2 6-up saves. And at this range, it kills 2 more, leaving just the Justicar remaining. And then Sultan remembered that morale isn't a thing in this thing, so he put the hammer guy back.
He might
I like
live.
it. Yeah, he might live. Well, he's also a flat 3 damage weapon, so with interrupting, we could take one of those bikes down.
Yeah, when he ignores the first damage. Oh, appreciate.
There is the Predator left to speak, and the Obliterators. Oh, and all these guys back here that I completely forgot.
I almost forgot about them as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we're doing the Predator, firing straight through at the Dread Knight here.
3s.
3s to hit, yeah, it's not the closest thing. Here's the sides sponsons on 3s, 1 hit, 3s to wound, and it wounds 4 up and button.
No.
Failed save. And that's 1 damage, brilliant. And now you've got the turret weapon, which hits both times and wounds once.
I'm going to re-roll that one.
With a command point,
yeah.
Wounds twice. 2 4 up, we got this.
No.
We're going to command point it as well. He does, we do. Oh, it doesn't help. 2d6 damage for 9 damage.
So that's 11.
And he already took.
Wound left.
Yeah, he's on 1 wound remaining. Absolute brutality happening in the middle of the battle grid. Now Abaddon sees that the Dread Knight is injured and aims his bolter.
Sort 4.
And he hits
And that's
6 times because wanton something or other.
Wanton
six.
massacre.
Right. I don't know what the strength is.
It's
What
5.
Is it? 3's to wound. 5's to wound, sorry. 2 wounds. AP.
AP minus.
Something.
Good question.
Let's
I think
roll
it's
some
2.
4s. That's definitely a fail. Abaddon takes down the second Dread Knight. Now the Obliterators are aiming at this unit of Terminators down here. This could be fruity, so we're going to spend 2 CP on true silver armor. That will give these Terminators transhuman. And Chewie's choosing the middle profile for the Obliterators, so it's D3 plus 3 shots each, so 9 plus 3 D3 is coming in.
Oh, wow.
And that's a good number of shots. 17 shots, Chewie.
Hitting on 3s.
Yeah. Forced to wound because of the strat. Didn't really help us. 9 saves, Sultan. But we have got 3-up saves because Terminator and cover. Each of these doing 2 damage.
So 1 dies.
Yep.
And that's it for the shooting in the centre of the battle grid. But over here, deep striking units dropped in. Now you've got flamers in this squad. How many flamers?
2 normal, 1 heavy.
Brilliant. So they're all firing in.
Yes.
Brilliant.
So it doesn't matter about EP because of armor contempt.
Yeah, but heavy will wound on 3s and normal wounds will wound on 4s.
So normal?
Normal ones?
It's 6 and
That's 10 shots.
10.
10 auto hits with Let the Galaxy Burn, wounding on 4s. Should we roll a hot today? Can I roll hot? No. 1, 2, 3 of them die. Well, no, 2.5 die. Then the Heavy Flamer hits 4 times with Let the Galaxy Burn and wounds on 3s. And that's 3 more wounds. And the injured fella falls and 1 is on 1 wound. Then the bolters came in, causing 4 more wounds, and that squad is wiped out. And at the end of the Black Legion shooting phase in turn 2, they've caught the Grey Knights. And at the end of the Black Legion phase in turn 2, they've caught the Grey Knights in a vice. My footprint is just here now. Black Legion in front, Black Legion behind. The Khitan that should be dead is still stood there. Dread Knights falling in the middle of the battle grid. We've still got quite a lot of resources here ready to countercharge some of the bikers and the Khorne Berserkers on this side of the battle grid. But we are now on to the Black Legion charge phase. Where would you like to start?
Khitan.
Yes.
Into the Grey Knights.
If you could roll Snake Eyes and fail the charge, that'd be lovely. You don't fail the charge.
Okay.
The Khitan comes crashing in, then Abaddon needs a 6-inch charge, and he makes a 6-inch charge. And comes slamming into the Terminators. A potential charge here to get round and try and scrabble onto that objective. But even if you get all the way around here, I still have objective secured.
Yes. Yeah.
So the Demon and the Warp Talon are going in.
So Warp Talon's going in first.
He is.
And then, yeah.
I think I might overwatch him. Actually, I won't overwatch him because you've killed more than us again. So he's an easy one to kill in the next battle round. I'll shoot him in the next battle round. What about these fellas? Are they going to go in? They're staying in. You've cleared away the targets back here, so no good charges because you got rid of the interceptors. Over here you've got berserkers and bikers though.
Yeah,
against
so
one
purifier.
Terminators
Charging there.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah,
yes,
red.
they go charging into them.
And then
berserkers? Because they're strung out all over the place.
berserkers.
So they're going 4. Yeah. With piling in, I don't think every single one of them will get into close combat. However, there is only there's one purifier left. So background here, of course, we're starting with Abaddon. Now we could True Silver Armor it again, but he can do mortal wounds in addition. So I don't think it's going to help us very much. Many attacks plus D3 against Imperial. How many did you roll for?
3.
So you're on 11, yeah? Mm-hmm. And he hits on 2s against the Terminators. 4 remaining Terminators. He hits 9 times. And he's a wound on 2s. And there's 3 6s. So these are 3 mortal wounds, 3 mortal wounds, 3 mortal
D3.
D3 each. Yeah. In addition.
Yeah.
But we've got a lot of saves. All of those saves. So 8/5 plus saves, each doing 3 damage. They're wiped out even before we got to the mortal wounds. Abaddon consolidates forward, and then I'm going to pay to interrupt with the interceptors over here because I've got a hammer on my Justicar. Okay, so he's going to have a go at those Terminators, and he'll hit them on. You've got some other fight firsts, but we've already done the first fight. So he's going to hit them on 4s with his hammer, and he's going to wound you on 2s with his hammer. And that is 2 3-up saves or dead Terminators. Not dead Terminators. And then the other guys have falchions. And the falchions will hit on 3s and will wound on 4s. That many 3-up saves. 4 more 3-up saves, so. Okay, that's 2 wounds plus a mortal wound in addition. So kills the Terminator. Yeah. Fighting back with the Terminators.
3s.
Sergeant and another has a fist. And you hit. You put them on wanton slaughter, right? So that's 6 explodes. And then you wound on 2s, re-rolling all wounds because Abaddon buffed them. There's 2 1s to re-roll. Lots of wounds. I need to make 7 5-up saves, and that's not enough to save the squad. After slaughtering those interceptors, the Terminators consolidate forward, and the Demon Prince raises his axe and strikes at the Dread Knight. And hits on 2s. And wounds on 3s. And the Dread Knight needs 3-up saves. Drop dice don't count. Yeah, I'm good. Nice. And he also has a Talon, which hits and wounds on a 3, which doesn't wound. Okay. Can the little Warp Talon do something?
Little guy, hello!
Warp Talon champion has 6 attacks. 2s to hit. Rerolling 1s because there's a Demon Prince nearby. And he's going to wound on 5s and reroll all failed wounds because claws. And that's only 1 wound so far, which converts into 2 wounds. And I make those saves as well. So the Dread Knight stands firm. Moving back down the line, the Khitan piles in, consolidates a little bit, obviously not tagging any of the Grey Knights because he's only on 2 wounds left, and we will smash it. And then we come down here to a bajillion Khorne Berserkers hitting 1 Paladin with a hammer. And the Justicar didn't stand a chance. Then the Khorne Berserkers and the Bikers consolidate closer to this unit of Terminators. Hopefully our counterpunch will be brutal. We're coming back over here now. The only unit that survived any of those charges that can fight back is my Dread Knight. But your Demon Prince has got a 4-up invulnerable save with a relic or something.
Yeah, Gorget of
the Gorget of Gorgeous.
Eternal Hate. Yeah.
He's got the Gorget of Gorgeous.
Well, he is Slaanesh, so yeah.
I'm going to hit him on 3s. And I hit 3 times. I'm going to wound him on 3s. I wound him once. 4-up invuln. And he takes 2 damage. And that's the end of the fight phase. And that's the end of Black Legion. Turn 2. They obviously killed more, making it 2 points to 0. And they're on 3 objectives. And because we're no longer on this objective, they're on more objectives than us as well. So it's 3 points to 0 in favour of the Black Legion. So our footprint has been severely reduced. But I believe Chewie's dropped in all of his reinforcements. But I've still got a unit of 5 Terminators. Sultan has still got a unit of 5 Terminators. And there is a lot of soft meat right in front of us. The Catan's only on 2 wounds. Surely we can take him out in this turn. So it's been brutal, it's been nasty, but it's not over yet as we head on to Grey Knight's turn 3. Alright, it's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. Dread Knight coming forward. Kill the troops, right, Chewie? Then I'll contest that objective at least, I think. And then my Dread Knight obviously staying in combat is a vehicle. Shoot that guy, he's dead, and then punch him. Okay, that's the plan down here. Dread Knights are going to do some work. They're the only 2 Dread Knights remaining. I've moved the Terminators round to get as many in line of sight as I can of Abaddon down there, because we're going to load him up with lots and lots of Stormbolters, try and take 3 wounds off of him in the shooting phase, and the Dreadnought's moving forward as well. But what? You're saying, what about my objective that you took off of me? Well, I have my Psychic Epiphany Librarian who's dropped in here with Vortex of Doom and Purifying Flame. And it's not the Psychic phase yet. Well, it is the Psychic phase because you've already done some Psychic stuff. And I've increased his range. And I'm going to roll an extra dice for when I do Psychic stuff and I kill some Terminators and knock them on the floor off the edge of the table. Scary, yeah. I think these guys should be able to hold on to that objective down there. So we're going to try and pressure as much of the objectives up here as we can. In the Psychic phase already, we haven't done any Mortal Wound shenanigans yet, but you put Sanctuary on this squad, 4-up invulnerable save, because there's Abaddon right there. And you've put Hammerhand and something else over here.
Symphonic Strike for an extra attack.
Yes.
I want to kill some composite.
But they failed their Hammerhand.
Yes.
But these guys are going to smite.
This is the closest because of how they dropped in.
Is it?
The bikes.
Not him.
They don't need to be. There's loads of characters.
Okay.
Fine. Yeah.
So it's the bikes. So let's do our first smite on the bikes. And that's a smite.
9.
And it does D3 mortal wounds.
1.
And 1 mortal wound on a bike. These guys are going to smite the Catan.
They've already tried to do their thing.
Have they?
Remember, they tried to do Hammerhand and failed.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, the captain's going to try.
Okay. And he smites. Would you like to try and deny that?
No.
No? D3. That's a dead Catan. Please don't blow up. Please don't blow up. Please don't blow up. Please don't. He doesn't blow up. And that's our first. We finally got him. High five.
Yeah. Something, yeah. I'm going to do some more smites.
Okay.
So we're on a 7 now, right?
Okay, yeah.
So Abaddon.
Abaddon. Would you like to try and deny that?
Yes.
That was a 9.
4-up.
Scorn of Sorcery. No. D3 on Abby the Don. Drop those on count.
That's the table. 3.
3.
That's the max we can do this phase.
Yes. The Apothecary's already put Sanctuary on then. The Chaplain's got his Litany of Hate off, so we're re-rolling all hits. What other power did you give him? I think it was Warp
Sanctuary,
Shaping.
which he doesn't need. Warp Shaping's on this guy, which isn't required.
So we can't do any more on him, so that's fine. So I'll come across to my Terminators and do the Aegis Eternal. And that passes. It means they have a 5-up shrug with the Apothecary nearby. So the Terminators, they've done their thing. So the Apothecary is going to smite. It's going to hit that thing right there on a 7, the Warp Talon. And that fails. That's fine. That's fine. Everything's fine. Dreadnought is Armoured Resilience. And that passes. And then this Dread Knight will smite. So 5, 6, 7, 8. And that passes. And kills the Warp Talon. That's 2 things dead, Sultan. That's 2 things dead.
We're back in the game.
Hammerhand on the Dread Knight. That fails.
Why can't Hammerhand go off?
I don't know why Hammerhand can't go off. Didn't you get 1 off? You got 1 off over there. You got a Hammerhand off.
Casted on a 5.
Right. But now we're going to come across to my Psychic Epitome Librarian. Increased its range for Purifying Flame, and I'm rolling 3 dice for this with another CP. He's closer to this squad here. the Terminators. Here we go. Okay, so Purifying Flame goes off on a 5.
I need a cup of tea.
Interestingly, you can deny it with your demon. And you do deny it with your demon, because that would have killed one. So now let's Vortex of Doom. That fails.
Does Vortex go on a 6 or a 7?
A 7. So let's CP reroll that. And that goes off.
Yeah, outrage.
So this is 2d3 plus 1 for 3 mortal wounds.
What is going on?
It will kill a Terminator. And you know Hammer Hand never goes off? I'm going to try and Hammer Hand. It doesn't go off. It does go off because we did 6, 7, 8. 6, 7...
2...
No, yeah, it doesn't go off.
It's because I used up all your opportunities.
So that's the end of our psychic phase. Though we have killed 2 things in the psychic phase.
And Abaddon's bleeding.
We've made him bleed. If it bleeds, we can kill it. So now we're on to the shooting phase. I'm going to spend... Abaddon is not within 3 inches of anyone now. And my Venerable Dreadnought can see him. I need to take 3 wounds off of him, Chewie. I'm spending a CP on Not Wisdom of the Ancients. Here's the last cannons, hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s. They both hit. We're going to wound him on 3s. We wound him once. He needs to make his invuln.
Going to reroll that.
Okay.
There we go.
He does make his invuln. Missile launcher, hits. Wounds. He needs to make a 3-up save against this one. Which you make. Okay, 1 minute. It ain't over yet. You've got a Mastercrafted Stormbolt around here.
Got a lot of Stormbolts to use up.
Okay,
yeah.
there's a
So,
Mastercrafted one, which is 2 damage. He hits. 5s to wound him. You have 3 wounds.
3 wounds.
3 2-up saves.
He ignores the first damage.
Oh yeah, we forgot about that.
Going again.
You can do all the guys together,
Yeah.
you might as well. Because they're only firing
They're
at
all hitting on
Abaddon.
2s and
We need to
stuff,
take 3 wounds off him, Sultan. We can do this. 3s. And then 5s.
That's not bad.
That's 5 more 2-up saves, Chewie. If you could roll 5 1s, that'd be lovely. You don't roll any 1s. So the whole squad here, there's an Incinerator. D6 hits. For 3 hits, which will wound on 4s because he's a tough old bird.
Nope.
Doesn't wound. And then all the Stormbolters in rapid fire range. Hitting on 3s. Yeah, not re-rolling 1s. The Grandmaster's gone. Wounding on 5s, but these are re-rolling 1s because there is a captain nearby.
He's still alive.
Right, Chewie can't keep making 2-up saves, surely. And there's 8 2-up saves to make, Chewie.
Corn's number.
Corn's number, and maybe he will, because Corn...
But he ignores the first damage. Yeah.
Okay, so he's done his first ignore damage. So I'm going to come over here and spend a point on what, them? They were all going to fire into them, though, weren't they?
They can do what they want, yeah.
Well,
sure, you go ahead.
We'll do mine, because I'm going to spend a point on Cybolt Amolition, because 6 is to wound, 6 is to hit auto wound, and I've got a lot of shots coming into him.
Okay.
However, before we begin, start off with this Psy Cannons, which will hit on 4s, and I'm going to wound you on 3s. 2 2-up saves on Abaddon. Each doing 2 damage. He takes 2 wounds. Only need to tickle him 1 more with all this Cybolt ammunition.
The minute you start.
Yeah. This guy and this guy can't see him. This has to work, Sultan. Because we've got no CP left, so we can't pay to interrupt.
We're going to charge him anyway.
I know, but when he charges us, we can't interrupt him back again like that. Yeah, so they auto wound. These are wound on 5s. That's really bad. 5 2-up saves. You can only lose 1 more. That's it!
And he takes just
Is
one
it
extra measure.
okay.
Why not? Oh.
So he's on 3 wounds remaining. Now it's over to you in close combat, because the idea is I charge the Terminators, he charges there,
None
right?
of my characters will go in.
Okay.
But I need to do some shooting over here.
Yeah, so these Terminators, bolted discipline is a thing, firing into the Corn Berserkers.
Berserkers, yeah.
Brilliant. Bzz. Well, it's not bzz, it's chugga chugga chugga. It's, yeah, that's the one. 4s to wound. You're rolling better than me. 8 3-up, where are we going?
Yeah,
We're going
okay.
8 3-up saves. 1 dies, and then we have another squad unloading everything at point blank range. 20 Stormbolter rounds hitting on 3s, slamming home on 4s. 6 more 3-up saves, Chewie, and another one bites the dust. And then this squad?
Probably fire at the bikes.
Yeah. So then that squad fired in. We aimed at the bikes and put one down to 2 wounds remaining, or did we kill a
One
bike?
died, one was on 2 wounds.
Okay, so there's 4 bikes left. How many berserkers are left?
5.
5. And we're going to go charging in with
6,
those Terminators. And then he's going to pay to interrupt somewhere. So we have to hit Abaddon first. Who's going to charge Abaddon and try and kill him with 1 hit? Who's got the most number of attacks here?
These both have 5.
Probably your captain.
But he's got a foot, yeah.
Yeah, because he's going to split attacks
I fight first.
all over the place. You do fight first. Well, we've got charge. So that's a fight first. You've got to fight first. So...
Yeah.
So long as we hit Abaddon first, we have potential to take him down. Because I'm wondering whether we send those Terminators into him. They've probably got the biggest chance.
Well, I've got 4 characters and a strike squad. He can't kill us all.
Okay, you've said it now.
Not in 1 round of combat.
Let's shoot everything from this Dread Knight into the demon. This is why we're here. To kill demons. 4's to hit though with the side cannon. It's heavy into combat. 2 wounds, 2 4-up invulnerable saves. That's another 4 damage off of him. Gatling silencer on 4s and 5s and no more wounds.
What were you saying?
Well, he's on 2 wounds left. I can punch him to death.
Yes.
Okay? Right, this thing, the other Dread Knight, is going to clear away all the troops. Okay?
Let's do that.
We're going to do that. 3's to hit them and 2's to wound them. And that's -2, so 4-up saves. They're okay.
Wait.
Reroll that one.
Oh, I was going to give you that one.
No, I've got that one.
Oh.
3s? Those are 3-up saves.
I ignore that one because it's Zinch.
Zinchi?
Yeah, Zinchi.
Okay, so the Dread Knight didn't do anything. But Terminators over here, we can rinse these away. Before I do that, I'm going to use the Fury of Demos and shoot your Raptors because it's a damage 2 relic.
Yeah.
And every failed save
Rapid fire 3
will kill one. Rapid fire 3, which is 6 shots, hitting on 3s. And that's strength 5, wounding on 3s. And those are 3 4-up saves. Every failed save is a dead raptor. And that is 3 dead raptors. Then the Terminators will unload everything into the jumpy dudes. And wound the raptors on 4s. 6 3-up saves. And another one is injured. And that's the end of our shooting phase. Now we've got some very interesting charges to make. I'm not going to charge with these guys because I'm on that objective and on objective secured. Even if he comes charging in, there's still 5 Terminators there plus my Mortal Wound Bond. I think I'm good. And all the Flamer shots coming in will be 2-ups. And these are Terminators on Terminators. With our Mortal Wound output, I think we can win this battle. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm not going to charge there. Round here... Do I bother charging into them or do I just go into the demon? Kill the demon. Make sure he dies. I think make sure he dies. It's turn 3, then turn 4 we can push up.
Demons are the real enemy, right?
So yeah, demon. That's what we're here for. We're here for the demons. So we'll double team that demon with both of my Dread Knights. We'll get back to the Terminators and the Dreadnought in a bit because I don't want you to fail charges against Abaddon. Who are you starting with?
So I think we need to get these guys in as a 9-inch charge because the mortal wounds on 6s.
Yes.
With the re-rolling everything.
They have more attacks.
That will kill him, yeah.
9-inch charge because of the crater. We don't have a reroll. We don't have any CP.
We have 1 CP left.
Nah, I spent 2 CP on sidebolt ammunition, not 1 because the score was larger than 5.
Oh.
So Hammer Guy. Okay,
Yes.
he goes
The
charging in.
apothecary is in.
The Apothecary, he's got a hammer. I love it.
Yeah.
Chaplain.
Maybe not. No, because he's 4 away now.
Okay.
-2.
Captain. No.
Why do you use all our command
And
points?
then the banner guy.
Banner guy's in.
So you've got an Apothecary and a Banner Guy facing Abaddon, which I think that kind of tells us what we have to do with these Terminators.
Well, they're re-rolling everything.
They have to charge Abaddon, right?
No, it's meant to be because I painted these up specially for this, so they've got to prove their worth now.
Well,
Technically, I painted up all 4 characters and 2 of them just failed their charges.
you're
but that's
re-rolling
nothing like
everything, but he's going to have a 3-up save against your hammer, and he ignores the first wound.
that. Oh, I forgot he ignores the first.
Yeah, exactly. So do we send... I mean, the Terminators...
-1 wound anyway because you're...
-1 wound?
Yeah, because of Nurgle.
Brilliant.
Anything equal or more, it's -1 to wound.
Yeah, so...
I just need those 6s to wound. More wounds.
Well, it's still forced to wound you with a hammer, though.
Send you guys in. Why not?
Well,
Because they'll have 6s to wound.
Yeah. Are you
I'll
charging
charge
over
it
there
here, I
with
made
Corn
it
Berserkers and
right.
stuff?
I needed
But the
it.
Terminators, though. We're going to charge both. We're going to charge the Terminators and Abaddon. That'll be okay. Right, the Terminators make it there. See, my Dreadnought has got re-rollable charges. So he'll go into the Terminators.
Do it.
Now that there's a gap, right? 9. Don't need the re-roll. We're in. Right, he's definitely going to interrupt somewhere.
So you
And then-
should probably fight first with
And
the
then
Terminators.
over here, you've got these guys into the...
They multi-charged everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So it's going to be the Terminators going first then.
Yeah.
Trying to take down. He's got to fight first, but I've got to fight first. So active player goes first. So let's try and kill Abaddon the Despoiler. Right, come around here, we can see it better. I've got 3 swords, Chewie. And so these will wound you on 5s. Okay? This number of attacks with the swords. 3s to hit you. Because you ignore the first damage. That's good, isn't it? It's 8 hits. 5s to wound. 6s do mortal wounds in addition. So that's a mortal wound.
Yeah.
And one
Which you
save.
ignore in the fight phase? No, only if you make
No,
saves.
actually, no. The Zinch has already been used from the fire.
Okay.
For shooting, so that's fine. Just
Right.
once per battle round.
You got 1 normal save to make as well then.
Yeah, 1 normal save of a 4-up in run.
Yep.
Okay. Halberds. These do 2 damage. One of these gets through, you're dead.
Yep.
3s to hit. But because of the Nurgle thing, these are 5s to wound as well. I don't kill him.
Did you not get Hammerhand off?
Not on that squad, no. They tried to do their Aegis Eternal and failed it. So that's the end of my fight with them. I've got these guys hitting the Terminators. There's a Justicar with a hammer and the other hammer. They're hitting the Terminators, part of the same squad, and then there's a sword coming in, okay?
Yep.
4s to hit because it's a hammer.
Oh, nice. You needed that.
I need this. If that was in close combat to wound against Abaddon, it'd be dead now. 2s to wound your Terminators because of hammers. No 6s whatsoever. 3-up saves. Every failed save kills a Terminator. It is a hammer.
So how many?
4.
4.
Dead Terminator.
Ignores that. It's Zinch.
Damn it. Should have done the sword first, which hits twice.
How are you supposed to
and
remember
wounds
all the
once.
Horde winners?
Wounds once. I have no idea. And it does wound. I put up wound on a Terminator. Well done, squad of 10 Terminators. Right. You've got some fight first units.
Well, I'm going to shoot. Abaddon's going to attack. I'm going to try and be a bit and attack both the captain and
The Apothecary and the Banner Bearer, yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're going to split attacks. It
Yeah.
always works. He gets D3 extra attacks. Let's see what you get this time. For 2. So he's up to 10. And you're going to do like 5 and 5 or something? Or?
yeah, 5 and 5.
Okay.
Pocket 3 first. Where do you want me to roll?
There's fine. He hits 4 times.
And because it's turn 3, it gets back in.
He hits 5 times. 2's to wound.
And 2 mortal wounds.
Well, I thought it's D3 mortal wounds.
D3, yes, it is D3. Sorry.
Okay.
Well, I'm saying 2 mortal wounds.
But that's 5 invulnerable saves on your Apothecary.
I make 2.
Okay.
Fail
How
3.
much damage does it do?
3.
So that's 9 damage plus 2d3. He's got a lot of shrugs to make. Yeah, he doesn't make all the shrugs. Now the banner guy.
This happened
Oh,
Only
at the
3
same
hits
time,
this time.
So I still
Yeah,
get my
reroll 1.
Apothecary shrugs.
with a CP.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really cocked. Okay, 4 hits and 2's to wound. With Drachnien. And that is 2 wounds. 2 5+ invulnerable saves.
Fail both.
Fail both. And that is 6 damage plus D3
Yeah.
because of the 6.
He's dead, so you can't throw him.
Well, it happened
At the same
at
time.
the same
Oh,
time.
of course. Yeah. Sorry.
So he's on 1 wound left. How many D3 mortal wounds come through?
3.
3 shrugs on 5s.
He tries, but he fails 1.
He fails 1. And he gets taken out. We don't take out Abaddon this turn. Does he heal any wounds?
No.
He doesn't. So he's on 2 remaining.
Yeah.
But we nearly had him.
Yeah.
He's tied up. So then that's your fight first. Now we're on to our charge. So we're going to come across to this thing because your demon fights first. So I don't want him to
Did you do
fight.
your dreadnought? haven't done Dreadnought yet.
Well, I'm coming here because otherwise you get a free interrupt.
Yeah. Sorry, ignore me.
Yeah.
You are.
No, I am. Yeah. 3's to wound him. And he's got to make all his 4-up invulnerable saves or dead demon. Dead demon! That's what we came here for. Die, demon, die. After the demon dies, I will consolidate and tag these marines here. I think that's a plan. Then you've done all your fight first stuff, so we're paying to interrupt with the Terminators who pile in. 2 of them can hit the Dread. 1 of them can hit the Terminators. Is that how you're doing it? Because the Dreadnought hasn't fought yet. Okay, so who's doing what now?
So the Champion and the Chain Fist are going to hit the Dreadnought.
Brilliant. What's this?
This is the Power Fist first.
Power Fist first. Hits 3 times, re-rolling everything. Hits all the times and 6s explode because Abaddon buffed them. 3's to wound.
Well, no, it's the Wanton Slaughter anyway.
Yeah. And then re-rolling the wound because Abaddon bust them. So this is the fist, right?
Yeah.
So I need 5-up saves. And each of those does 2 damage, which becomes 1 damage, and he shrugs on 6s because he's a venerable. And he only takes 1 wound.
Cool.
And then the chain fist.
Yeah.
Misses. Reroll. Hits. And 2 explosions. 3s. Rerolling. I can roll again. Yeah, let's say 5 hit.
Maybe don't aim for the rocks.
Is it -4?
-4,
I believe these are 6-up saves. No, and each of these does D3.
Yeah. First one.
Well, you can do them all together.
Oh,
So 2. That 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive. He's taken up wounds so far, and he's on 4 wounds remaining. What a boss!
That's good.
But then the Power Fist hits the Terminators.
They deserve it after their...
And
Yeah.
hits 4 times
Yeah.
and wounds them on 2s. Wounds them all the times.
Yeah.
And -3 becomes -2. That's a save. 1's on 1 wound remaining. And there's an Apothecary. 1's on 1 wound remaining. Right, you've angered my Dreadnought. He will smush you back on 2s. And he will wound you on 2s. These are 4-up saves, each doing 4 damage, because he's a Pimp Dreadnought.
Yeah.
And I killed 2 of the Terminators. Right, then we come all the way down here. So you might as well do these guys because they're only hitting the bikes first.
Yeah.
And then see how many they kill before we go on to the Terminators. Okay. Right, we did the guy with the heavy side cannon, the P-Silencer. He did a wound. And now we're on to the 2 falchions, which will hit on 3s. And these will wound on 5s. We're looking for those 6s though.
1 6.
And then 2 4-up saves. Okay, so...
Kills 1 with the mortal wound.
And then you've got a halberd and a halberd on the sergeant. So that's 7 attacks in total. Oh, 3 attacks on the halberd. Hits once, wounds on a 3. And it wounds, 4-up save, which you make, and a mortal wound in addition. And then 4 attacks with the sword from the 1 hit. And a wound. And a 5-up save. And that's 2 damage plus an additional mortal wound. So 1's on 2 wounds remaining and they kill a chunk of bikes. Now onto the Terminator. So one of the swords is going to hit the bikes because you've got an extra attack with Symphonic Strike. So 3's to hit the bike. And then 4's to wound the bikes. And then you need 5-up saves on this, Chewie. Cool. And each one does 2 damage. So that'll kill 1. And put 1 down to 1 wound, and then the mortal wound in addition will kill the bikes. That was perfect, Sultan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I showed up.
And then you've got 1, 2, 3 halberds, which are
and
4 attacks. Well, we can do the sword first then, because the halberd has the sergeant. The sergeant has a sword. Yes.
You okay there?
I'm losing it. 5-up saves. 3 5-up saves, each doing 2 damage. You kill 1, 2, 3 Khorne Berserkers with the mortal wounds in addition.
They can only take a maximum of 4 more now, though.
And now all the halberds. Many attacks with Symphonic Strike on 3s. And I just remembered
I just remembered a hammer hand.
We'll remember it now. This is 3s to wound, re-rolling all the wounds.
Well, there's 3 more wounds in addition.
He is. Brilliant. Right, 11 4-up saves, Chewie, and then more. Oh, no. You got rid of the Berserkers and the bites with that charge. See, this is... You're doing better than me. Yeah. Grey Knight's doing what Grey Knight should be doing, which is...
my apothecary.
And we've cleared 1, 2... We cleared many, many units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive. We've killed many... 1, 2, 3, 4... I worked it out. We killed 5 units. He's got to kill 5 full units. However, Sultan, just to make you worried, he's already killed 2.
And Abaddon's still there.
With
I know
Abaddon.
They were mine.
He's already killed 2 with
Shouldn't let me hit
Abaddon.
him with that hammer.
Well...
You see how I just rolled?
Yeah, but if I... Yeah, okay.
Okay.
You told me to fight first, so I fought first. So that could have been better. But we are, all of a sudden, on many objectives all across this battle grid. We're on 4. And Chewie's got to kill at least 3 to stop us getting another point. And 4 to get another point himself. The Black Legion, though... Well, who's running out of assets here now? I wonder, as we go into the Black Legions. Turn 3. In the Black Legion movement phase, the fight for the objective down in my deployment zone here continues. The Raptors and the Terminators heading in for my Psychic Bomb Shield and my Terminators down there. I wonder who will come out victorious. Down here, where the Demon was in this corner, all the troops are regrouping around that objective. That's a lot of objective secured, locking down that one. And I've got 2 turns to break through. I'm not sure it can be done. In the middle, the Terminator stepped back from combat with the Dreadnought because the Predator's moving around to fire at him. Plus, you've got a Librarian, a Sorcerer there as well. And in the centre, the Obliterators and a lot more objectives secured move up behind Abaddon. Abaddon, of course, is not stepping back from combat. He's buffed himself. So he's re-rolling all hits and all wounds. We'll see how many Terminators are there at the end of all of this. And there's still some more Khorne Berserkers down here. There was still a unit inside this Rhino here. So the battle between the Khorne Berserkers and the Grey Knights on this flank will continue for another turn. So the Black Legion still have a lot of infantry, slathering, crazy, maddened infantry. Or maybe they're not maddened. They're Black Legion. They're disciplined, organised.
Berserkers aren't.
They like spreadsheets. The Berserkers aren't. They like spreadsheets. They're basically, Black Legion are basically Black Ultramarines, aren't they?
Oh, how dare you!
So you've got a Psychic phase with your Sorcerer. What do you want to do?
I'm going to do Prescience on the Obliterators.
Okay.
That's...
Well, I deny it anyway, so that's done. Okay. And what's his other thing?
I'll do Smite.
It's going to hit my Terminator.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, that smites, and I deny that as well. Yeah. So I shut down your Psychic phase. That's what Grey Knights do, and now the Black Legion pull the trigger. We started off on this flank, lots of legionaries firing into my Dread Knight. A Plasma managed to take 2 wounds off of it. Now in the middle, your Sorcerer is firing his Melter at point blank range into my Venerable Dreadnought. And he hits. And he wounds. I need a 6. No, and this is D6 plus 2 damage at this range for 4 damage. He's got 4 wounds remaining. But he's got a 6-up shrug because he's Venerable. He's got 1 wound remaining. All the Rhinos chose to fire into the Dread Knight, so it comes to the Predator to finish off my Dreadnought. Here's the Sponsoon Las Cannons. One of them hits. And it wounds. 5 up. And make the save. And the turret mount with 1. 1 hit.
Both hit. Because it's eligible because they're in combat.
Is it? Okay, I like it. They both hit. 1 wound.
I'm going to reroll 1.
For a CP?
Yeah.
That puts you down to 1 CP now, Chewie. 5-up saves. I make 1, fail 1. And it's D6 plus 3 damage, which is... I've got to make loads of 6s now to stop him. He's gone. Does he blow up? No. You take out the Dreadnought. We've killed 5 things. You've killed 3 things. Interesting. After the Predator, we're moving down to the squads in the middle, unloading everything at this strike team here with Sanctuary on, but there are a couple of melter guns here. And the bolt pistols came in and fired. And the bolt pistols fired in and killed 1. Now we have the melters. Drop dice and count. They both hit, right, because of eligible stuff?
Yes, because I can't shoot the...
2s to wound. 2 4+ invulnerable saves.
Make them both.
Make them
Nice.
both. Okay, you only kill one and injure one. Then we moved across to the other flank, and there were some legionaries, some berserkers, and rhinos. Lots of shots coming in at rapid fire range, killing 2 of the Terminators. So casualties taken across the line. Last thing left to fire are the Obliterators, and they're firing in to the Sanctuary squad. So this is 9 plus 3d3 shots. That one's pretty cocked. And firing at the closest eligible unit is that squad. So you're hitting them on 2s. There's a few 1s. There's 2 1s.
3 1s.
3 1s. And then 3s to wounds. And then invulnerable saves or death. Ooh. I'm saying there's a chance. There is. 6 saves to make, Sultan. 6 4-up invulnerable saves. Will the Sanctuary keep them alive?
It will. 2 die.
2 left standing, and that is the end of Black Legion's shooting phase.
That one.
Oh yeah, you got some stuff over here.
Yeah.
We've got the battle for this objective over here. Terminators on
Windsors.
Terminator action. Hello.
Oh, never mind. No.
What?
Father Kerry died. I just reminded myself.
Yeah, he died. You got smashed by
You
Abaddon.
didn't do very much.
Okay, so what we doing?
Flamers.
Yes.
So the 2 normal ones.
Is that 16 hits?
Yes.
And these are win on 4s. As you light me up. 9. 2-up saves. I'm fine. I make every single one. I don't know what the fuss is about.
Heavy Flamer.
Yes.
Only 4.
Okay. Use the 3s to wound. 2 more wounds.
Yeah.
I take a wound. Then the bolter shots bounced, and that is the end of the Black Legion shooting phase. We do have some charges now. And in the charge phase, the Raptors and the Black Legion Terminators engage my Terminators. In the middle, you want this squad to get into the Sanctuary squad.
Yep.
It's going to be a 7-inch charge because they're in a crater. And that's a 6. You've got 1 CP left. Are you doing it?
I'm doing it.
Do it. And they make the charge. Legionaries come charging through. The brother captain heroically intervenes. Where else are we going? Berserkers?
Berserkers in.
Berserkers into Terminators. Again, a small charge. So with piling in, I'm not sure if everyone will be able to get in close combat. The Khorne Berserkers, the Hounds of Abaddon, make it here against the 3 Terminators. That is the last of the charging models in the charge phase, but Abaddon has a fight first and gets D3 extra attacks. Only 1 this time. And all of his attacks are hitting the Terminators. And he's hitting on 2s.
Hitting on 2s.
And re-rolling everything.
Yeah, apart from those.
6s explode.
Yeah.
Because it's turn 3. Why are you re-rolling?
I can re-roll to hit and wound to maximise.
Oh.
That was
Okay.
cocked. So that was a 4. So that's 3.
Right. And then he's strength gazillion. So he's winning on 2s.
2s. Re-rolling.
Right. Because you want to do the mortal wounds. That's a lot of wounds. 11 wounds come through. Each doing 3 damage. I need to make 11 5-up saves. 1 hit the floor, so I'll re-roll that one. So that's 5 dead, but I am in range of the apothecary. 1's on 2 wounds remaining, so the first one dies. That's 1, 2, 3 is still alive. 1, 2, now 3 are dead. And then, so 4 die, and then 2 mortal wounds came through in addition. And so 4 died, 1's on 2 wounds. So Abaddon's still locked up with a chunk of Terminators here. Now we're coming across the Legionaries. They're choosing to put all the attacks into the Sanctuary squad. Here's the Power Fist hitting on 4s. 3s because it's the closest thing. Yeah. And wounding on 2s. And that is 3 wounds, 3 4+ invulnerable saves, Sultan.
Fine.
Nice.
And they're okay. Coming around here for the remaining attacks with Mark of Khorne. 2s to hit. 6s explode. Wounding on 4s. With the additional AP, those are 4-up saves as well, so on. And 1 takes a wound. From the attack in the centre across to the fights with the Khorne Berserkers. Not all of them can fight, but they've still got a bajillion attacks. And they hit on 2s. Nasty. And they wound on 3s. These are all AP -3. So the Terminators will get 4-up saves. 18 4-up saves, Owen.
So on the screen, each count is dead.
Doing 1 damage. So
One's
one,
dead.
two.
Dead.
I
One's
only
alive.
killed 2. One Terminator remains standing. I haven't got any CP to interrupt. I forgot to mention as well, this Rhino charged my Dread Knight and managed to put a wound on him.
Yeah,
And then the last charging units of this turn are the Terminators and the Raptors against my Terminators down in this corner. Starting with the Terminators, we've got 9 attacks, going over it. 2s to hit with all your cursed weapons. And those 6s explode, so you can put those two ones back in. And then 3s to wound. AP -3. 6 4-up saves, 1 Terminator falls. And then there's 2 fists in that squad, which will hit on 3s. Ooh, only 3 hits in the end. And wound on 2s. 2 wounds. And that kills another Terminator. The Raptors have Mark of Khorne. Is this the power sword?
Yes.
Brilliant. It hits on 2s. And that's 6 hits in the end.
Yeah.
And a wound on 3s.
What did it do? That's right. 3.
3 wounds. 3 4-up saves. Another Terminator dies. There's only 2 left. And then there's a Chainsword, which hits 4 times.
Yeah.
And wounds once. And I finally make a save. Oh no, Mark of Khorne, I failed the save.
Yeah.
There's only 2 Terminators left there, and that is finally all the charging units. So we get to fight back.
Yes.
We still killed more, thank heavens. So do I put all the attacks? Because he's within half inch. I can put all the attacks into them and then put. Yeah, let's do them. Let's kill your Raptors, okay? The my sergeant there, sergeant equivalent, has a halberd, and he hits twice, and he wounds once. 4-up save or dead Raptor. He's still alive. And then the pair of falchions hits 4 times and wounds 3 times. And those are 4-up saves as well.
And a mortal wound.
And a mortal wound in addition. So only do 1 mortal wound to the Raptors. Could have been better, not going to lie. Coming all the way down here. What are we going to do?
Captain.
Captain.
He hits on 3s with his hammer, but
Okay.
he re-rolls everything because the chaplain's there.
Okay. Nice.
He wounds on strength. He's 2s.
Okay.
It's minus many.
2. Those are 4-up
Minus
saves.
3. It's a different hammer.
What do you mean it's different hammer?
It's a relic.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's minus 3.
Is it?
Yeah.
So the 4 will kill 1.
Yeah.
And then it was a mortal wound as well.
Oh yeah, it's the 4 damage relic hammer of doom. It does kill 1 and does 1 mortal wound in addition. So when he smushes 1 of them, you've got the 2 guys left here though.
Yeah, just the car has 4 attacks with the hammer.
Yes.
4s re-rolling.
Because the chaplain.
Yeah.
And then 2s to wound.
2s.
With these are 4-up saves.
Yeah.
And that smushes 2 of them. And then the halberd. Re-rolling because of the. Yep. And 3s to wound.
Re-rolling 1s to wound. That's a mortal wound in addition.
Just 1 4-up save. Brilliant. No.
So that kills 1 and is a mortal wound.
So after the brother captain and the strike squad fight back, there is a champion on 1 wound remaining. Maybe they shouldn't have charged in. We taught them the error of their ways. We have your Justicar over here. He's got 4 attacks, hitting back at those. He gets an extra attack though, because you've still got that psychic power.
He missed twice.
Okay.
And then he wounds on 3s, re-rolling because of hammer hand.
2 4-up saves on the Berserkers, or dead Berserkers. We have a dead Berserker. Right. And we've fought everywhere else, except for my Dread Knight and the fight back against Abaddon. Let's do the Dread Knight against this vehicle here. Only hit 3 times. Oh, drop left don't count.
Ooh.
And I wound twice. 2 5-up saves on the Rhino. And the Rhino takes 4 damage. It's got 6 left. Right now, let's try and kill Abaddon. Right, a pile insult. When I got 4 in close combat, he's got 2 wounds left.
And he can ignore the first damage.
He can ignore the first damage, so I'll start with the swords.
Okay.
And I'll wound him on 5s.
There's a mortal wound.
4+ invulnerable saves. Abaddon. And he ignores the first damage and takes a mortal wound.
Yes,
he's on 1 wound remaining. Now, one of those is a halberd, one of those is the hammer. The sergeant's back here, it's not the sergeant. Here's the halberd. He hits twice. Strength 6, toughness 6, so 5's to wound because of the Nurgle thing. Doesn't wound. It all comes down to this hammer. We don't have any CP. It doesn't matter. We'll kill him in the smite phase. It'll be fine. Hammer hits twice. Wounds once. 3-up save or death on Abaddon. Abaddon is still alive. Still hanging in there on 1 wound remaining. 1 good smite. And he's out of here. And that is the end of turn 3. And what a mess. Khorne Berserkers on the right flank. Abaddon, Black Legion up the centre. And loads of pain over this flank as well. We're both on 3 objectives each. So no one gets any points for being on the same number of objectives. It was 3 points to 0, Chewie. But we killed more, making it 3 points to 1. The fight back is on. 3 points to 1 with 2 turns to go. The Black Legion are in ascendancy here. Pressure all across this side. Will the Grey Knights be able to hold on? I think Abaddon is not long for this world, though, as we will go on to Grey Knights. Turn 4. Okay, turn 4. Before we start anything, are you enjoying my nuts?
They're lovely and salty.
Yeah, lovely salty nuts. Right. Turn 4, we've moved forward. The Dread Knight is staying here in close combat.
Who's eating nuts?
With the Rhino. I've got you have some of my nuts as well.
Thank you.
There you go. They're staying locked up there.
You did in a cup. You can cup them in your hand.
Yeah.
The nuts.
Yeah. We're staying in combat over here as well. I've moved the Librarian around this way to smite and kill the Raptors with psychic stuff and then hopefully kill these with the remaining stuff. Need to kill more. 2 Raptors. Should be able to kill them. Sorcerer. We came here to destroy the demon, the witch, and the heretic. And this battle grid is replete with demons, witches, and heretics. There's the witch. Kill the witch with Dread Knight. Terminator staying locked up in close combat. We've got a CP back, Salt, and we could put a Terminator back into that blob, but I don't think we need him. No. We'll hold on to that one.
The fewer there are, the more glory there is individually.
Yeah, exactly. And then the guys in close combat here fell back onto that objective. So yes. The Terminators that deep struck in last turn can come out of that objective and join the fight. And then over here, thank heavens your Justicar held up this entire squad of Khorne Berserkers, because then the other strike team can go piling in there and help him out. So we're going to get charges. We're going to finally be able to push back a little bit. But first, we must start the psychic phase. Shall we spend the CP on casting 3 times instead of casting? We should, shouldn't we? This is, they're the only thing down by this objective. If we don't clear this off of here, he will take this one. So I'm going to spend the CP, Purifying Flame, put it on them. And that's a pass. Would you like to try and deny on a 7? You are in range. It is 4 mortal wounds and will kill those raptors. You're not? Dead raptors. They're gone. Oh. And then Vortex of Doom on the Terminators. And that's a 10. Would you like to try and deny? This is 2d3 plus 1 mortal wounds on your Terminators.
Roll big.
That is 5 mortal wounds on the Terminators. And we're going to follow up with a smite from the team. And the team failed their smite. Okay, talking about smites. Abbey the Dawn is on 1 wound remaining. The Terminators that have engaged him unleash the psychic might of Titan and smite him. Are we denying now?
Yes.
Okay. I rolled a 7, you rolled an 8, you deny. Interesting. So the Apothecary will smite him. And you've run out of denies. And that is D3 mortal wounds. He's on 1 wound remaining. And Abaddon, the Despoiler, collapses, screaming, "Ah, no, I should have stayed loyal to the Emperor. Oh, this was a terrible mistake."
Oh, I guess I'll have to do a 14th Black Crusade. What a shame.
Abaddon's so smelly that even the Death Guard throw up when they're around him.
Yeah.
And if you want to roast Abaddon, put more comments down below. I'd love to hear what you come up with. Hammerhand. That fails. Off. No, it's a 6.
It goes off on a 5.
Does it?
Yes.
Oh, it goes off. Yeah, it goes off on a 5. Let's Hammerhand here as well. And that goes off. So double Hammerhands on the Dread Knights. Would you like to smite into close combat?
Yeah.
5, 6, 7. Yeah, he's dead. That guy, your chaplain, just did. Are you alright there, Chewie?
Water went down the wrong way.
Not one of my nuts.
No.
Sanctuary, throwing out that way. Sanctuary on those fellas there. He's gone. We killed two things as well as Abaddon. Did we notice that Abaddon's there? Over here.
Hammer hand on these.
Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8. That passes.
And
Smite.
then smite, yeah. I think this is quite a high I need.
And that doesn't pass.
That's fine.
So in the psychic phase, with mind bullets, we've killed two things. Are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've killed two things already. Now we're going to shoot some guns. This Dread Knight is going to fire everything into close combat. On 4s. And 3s with the side cannon, only doing a wound with a 4-up save, which a fail puts the Rhino down to 4 wounds remaining. Then the Gatling silencer bounced. Now we're coming across to my Librarian with his Fury of Demos, 24-inch range.
That's a lot of eye contact.
I can shoot these guys over here. Sorry. I hit them 5 times and wound them 5 times. They need to make 5 4-up saves or they die. And I kill 2 of them. That's the Fury of Demos for you. And talking about killing things, let's destroy the witch. Let's shoot at that Psyker with my heavy side cannon. I miss 4 times. This is not great. But I wound both of the times at -2. Is he in Terminator armor? I don't think he is. So 3-up saves. You make them. It's okay. I can punch you. Let's do the Gatling. He does drop down a wound after I shoot the Gatling gun into him. So makes it a bit easier for punching. Now my Terminators are no longer locked in combat. So we can shoot some guns. So they have 2-up save in that crater. There's no point shooting at the Obliterators. I could shoot at your Librarian. No, let's shoot everything at these in cover 2-up saves. And after this unit fired in, no wounds caused, but they were backed up by the second squad, Sultan squad. The Rapiers fired in and killed 1 and put 1 down to 1 wound remaining. And then we have this squad over here, and it's going to fire again at Legionaries in cover. And the squad fired in, causing no wounds. Then we found some more firepower in the middle with the characters, and they fired into the Legionaries in the middle of the battle grid and took 2 more out, and that is the end of our shooting phase. Lots of boots in cover, so apart from wounding a few squads here or there, we haven't removed any squads yet. We're on to the charge phase though, and the Black Legion have no more command points to interrupt. Abaddon is no longer here, so my Librarian will go charging in 8 inches and engage these Terminators. My Dread Knight will go charging in against the Sorcerer and engage him, and I've got a hammer hand on him. And then we'll come around to the Terminators charging through the crater. This is a 7 or 8 inch charge, and a 6 will definitely fail because that's a 4 inch charge.
5 inch way.
But you've got your Captain and your Chaplain who can go in.
Chaplain first. No.
Negative.
Captain.
6 inches. I think he's out.
He's out.
They're going to live. But this charge round here with your strike team into the Berserkers is a foregone conclusion. That's a 5 inch charge. And as we're finished over here with the camera, we can start here with the camera.
Yeah.
1 wound came through with the guy with the side cannon. Now we've got 2 guys with falchions hitting on 3s. And you've got a hammer hand off on this squad, so it's forced to wound re-rolling. And then re-rolling. Oh.
3.
Only 3 4-up saves. But you injured 1 with
So
the
that
side
kills
cannon
the second,
guy.
Yeah.
What you got? A halberd?
So we got a halberd on a normal guy.
Yes. He hits all the times. 3s. Re-rolling. So those are 2 4-up saves, each doing 2 damage. So 3 4-up saves.
4-up saves. And then a mortal wound in addition.
You kill another. And then a hammer on just the car.
No, this is a sword.
Is it?
So 3s.
And then 3s with the re-roll. And these are 5-up saves.
3 5-ups.
Each doing 2 damage. And at the end of that combat, there is 1 Khorne Berserker left standing. We're not going to pile in because...
They'll just hit me back.
Yeah, they'll just hit you back in the Khorne Berserkers. Fail charges up the middle, but my Dread Knight with Hammerhand means to kill this Sorcerer. Let's suffer not the witch. On 3s, and then 2s, and that many 4-up saves. And the Sorcerer's still alive. He's still alive. Okay, Librarian versus Terminators. He puts down the Fury of Demos and raises his halberd and strikes twice. And wounds on 3s and doesn't wound. That's it for charging units. So now the Black Legion fight back, and you're trying to take out my Terminator Librarian. Okay, yeah. So these attacks against the Librarian, and one is going against the Terminators. Where are you rolling?
I'll roll here because I don't want to knock anything over.
2s.
No, it would be normal hits because...
Fists, are they? Right. Yeah. No, you didn't charge.
No, I didn't charge.
Yeah. So 2 wounds, 2 4-up saves. He's on 1 wound remaining. But fortunately, there's no more attacks going into him. No. The remaining attacks are going into the Terminators.
Yeah.
And you're hitting on 3s, and then wounding on 3s with your cursed weapons. And these are AP -3, right? So 5 4-up saves. Kills 1, puts 1 down to 2 wounds remaining. But fortunately, I'm still objective secured. I'll fight back here then with the guy with the halberd. He hits 3 times. He wounds twice, 2 3-up saves. And 1 mortal wound in addition. Kills another Terminator. So 2 on 2 down in here in this corner. It's getting very close. The Rhino tried to run over the foot of the Dread Knight. Didn't. The Dread Knight will punch back. And wound on 3s. 2 5-up saves. No, that's a dead Rhino. Which doesn't blow up. So I consolidate forward, but not enough to bring them into close combat. Then I made a mistake because I was filming so much, and so I just twisted this guy. I didn't intend to charge him off of that objective. He's still within 3 of that objective. And then your Sorcerer can smack back at my Dread Knight with his 5 attacks. And he hits all the times.
That's 2.
7 times. He'll wound on 3s.
Yeah.
But I think they're AP -1.
Yes, they are.
So I do get 2-up saves, and I make all of the saves. And that is it for combat. We've killed 3 units of Rhino and 2 in close combat. Okay, scanning across the battle grid, we're still on 3 objectives each because the one in the centre is contested. And we killed 3 things. It's 3 points to 1. Chewie needs to kill at least 3 things to stop us getting a point and potentially steal one of these objectives off of us. It's coming down to the wire as we head on to Black Legion, turn 4. Here we are partly into the Black Legion shooting phase. So moving around here, lots of shots came in, small arms into the Dread Knight, dropping it down to 6 wounds left, but one of the plasma guys has overheated. And then around here a smite came off and hurt my Dread Knight as well. And that's all that happened around here. Some wounds on some Dread Knights. Then lots of small arms across the line that could reach out, try to kill the 1 remaining Terminator down here and put on 1 wound remaining. What we've got left, though, are some big guns. Melter in the middle, the Obliterators and the Predator. So over here, you're going to try and one-shot the Chaplain.
Yes.
Because he's got 5 wounds. So 2's to hit him. And that's a hit. 2's to wound him. And that's not a wound. With your CP that you got back, that does wound. 4+, Rosaria's save. You make the save.
New model syndrome.
Glorious. But the Obliterators could try and polish him off. Or do you want to try and spit fire with him? How greedy do you want to be?
I'm going to just take the 1 out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to try and shoot the Chaplain with my big
guns. So yes. 3d3 strength, 9 shots coming up.
God. 3d3.
That is only 4 shots. The Prescience, you managed to get it off though?
No, I didn't.
You didn't get it off?
No.
No, okay. So 3's to hit because the Terminators are closer. You hit twice. 2's to wound.
Good luck.
2 wounds. Now each of these does 4 damage. You need to make both of your 4-up saves, Sultan. And you fail them. The Chaplain gets reduced to slag. So we've killed 3 things. You've killed 1 thing now. And the last thing left to fire is the Predator Annihilator. And with the Dread Knight only on 6 wounds remaining after taking all those small arms, the Predator's going to try and finish it off. 3's to hit with the Sponsoon las cannons. 1 of them hits. 3's to wound.
Actually, it's the closest.
They're much closer. The Terminator's over there.
Oh, yeah, okay, yep.
3's to wound. Yeah. It wounds. And I failed to save d6 damage. It's only got 6 wounds left. Now it's got 4 wounds left. Can the Turret Mountains finish it off? Both of them hit. One of them wounds. And I fail that save. D6 plus 2.
It's dead.
And the Dread Knight's down. We've killed 3 things. You've killed 2 things so far. And that's the end of the Black Legion shooting phase. And now we're going to go on to the charge phase. The Rhino over here means to engage both of the squads. He's auto in, so you can just spin him around. I'm assuming the Khorne Berserker is going only into the Terminator.
Yes.
On 1 wound remaining. Because you kill that Terminator, and then no one gets any points for killing more. But in the middle of the battle grid, Obliterators?
Yeah, that's good.
Into...
The Grey Knights.
They're all Grey Knights, babe.
Yeah.
Terminators.
Terminators, yeah.
Okay. Through a crater. 3-inch charge? I think you're in. And the Obliterators come smashing forward up the gut. Just outside 3 for heroic intervention there. And your Terminator champion goes into my Dread Knight. Now we fight. Terminator champion smashes out on 3s with his Power Fist. And he hits 4 times and 6s explode. That's 6 hits.
Yeah.
3s to wound. That is 6 wounds. I need to make a lot of 4-up and vulnerable saves here. And I only make 2, which is 8 damage.
All right.
You kill my Dread Knight. You've killed more this turn. So the champion takes his prize. Now the Obliterators are attacking these Terminators here. We've got 12 attacks hitting on 2s because you charged. They basically have non-unwieldy Power Fists and 6s explode. And I say Power Fist, they're strength 10. They win on 2s. At AP minus 3. I need to make 11 4+ saves. I fail a chunk and each does 2 damage each. So that's 4 damage. 4 shrugs. Dead. That's 4 damage. 4 shrugs. Dead. 2 dead. Oh, 4 damage. Still alive. And then now he's dead. So that's 3 dead. And 1 on. 3 dead. 1 takes 2 wounds. That leaves 3 Terminators remaining in the middle, along with my Apotheoser. Now you have the Khorne Berserker champion trying to take down this last Terminator. He's going to hit on 2s and win on 3s. 3 3-up saves, Sultan. He's still alive. Now the Rhino.
Yeah.
This has been embarrassing.
3 attacks.
Yeah, on
Okay.
him.
6s to hit.
No.
No hits. That is the end of all the charging units. I think, if you don't mind, I need to fight here first. So both the Justicar and the Apothecary both have 4 attacks. So, sorry, the Librarian. So let's start with the Librarian. And he hits all the times. And he wounds 3 times. 3 3-up saves. Each doing 2 damage. That will kill one of the Terminators. You're fighting back against the Librarian?
Yes.
So you've killed 4 things, I've killed 3 things. Now, oh yeah, because he won't be able to pile in and hit you.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You hit 5 times. The 6 is exploding, is painful. Yeah. Is this a fist?
Yes.
5 wounds come through on the Librarian, and he gets slain. At least I still control this objective. We'll have a Black Legion Terminator versus a Grey Knight Terminator on 2 wounds remaining, fighting out over this objective. You can pile into me if you want, so I can fight you back in this.
No, you're all right.
No? Okay. Then all the way over here.
He's going to punch the Khorne Berserker.
Okay. He punches him 3 times.
He kills him.
Well, that's a mortal wound.
Oh, yeah.
He's got to make 2 4. If he makes 2 4-up saves, he's alive. He's not alive.
And then these
He's
guys
dead.
were charged by the Rhino.
So they can all pile in and
they
hit the
still have
Rhino.
Hammerhand on.
You know what? If you kill that Rhino, it'll be 5 things killed each. Because you just killed a thing. So the guy with the heavy weapon fork didn't cause any wounds. Here's all the falchions. Hitting on 3s. Oh no. And wounding on 5s. Re-rolling everything because of hammer hand. And that is 3 4-up saves on the Rhino. And it takes 2 wounds plus 1 mortal wound for the Tide of Convergence. It's on 7 left.
This is the halberd.
Right, 5s to wound. 1 wound.
1 wound, yeah.
Just 1 wound. Reroll. Forgot about that.
That's seriously cocked.
It saves.
-2.
It saves, yeah, with a 4 up. And then you have a sword on the Justicar. And he only hits twice. And wounds once. Wounds once. 1 5-up save on the Rhino, which you make. So the Rhino's still on 7 wounds remaining, and that is the end. Oh no, I got some Terminators. Terminators will pile in. The sword and the hammer can fight. And the sword hits 3 times and only wounds once. And you fail the save. That does 2 damage. And the hammer doesn't wound. And that's the end of the combats. And that is the end of turn 4. How many objectives are you on?
I'm on 1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, 3. So 3 points to 1 still for the objectives, because we're on 1.
You're on 2.
2. So you beat us on objectives, so 4 points to 1.
Yeah.
And he killed more. 5 points to 1. And the maximum we could score in turn 5 is 2 points for killing more or holding more. So even if we killed more and held more, it would be 5 points to 3 in favour of the Black Legion. So this is the way the world ends. It is a victory for the Black Legion. Now I'm saying my dude over here should be able to kill that dude down there, that Terminator, and take that objective off of him. And the Apothecary and things can do some healing in the middle and try and steal that one as well. And you've held this flank really well, Sultan. You pushed back very hard. But I think what Chewie did is he had one thing hitting us, then another thing hitting us, then another thing hitting us. And no matter what we could do, we just couldn't break out. But I feel it wasn't that bad. I feel... Look, we killed Abaddon. That's the main thing. I was excited about killing Abaddon.
Yeah.
Killing Abaddon was fun. But, yeah.
Wow.
Black Legion are tough.
They are.
As Sultan said just off camera there, it's like they're like Custodians sitting on 2s, but with 4 times as many of them, all over the place. And you've still got your obliterators there. You haven't got much left, to be fair. Over this, you've got a couple of empty rhinos, right?
Yeah.
There's some legionaries there, and then there. And then if we could have dug through here a turn earlier, that would have been good. I love the Catan being in the list as well, being such a punchy forward unit as well. This list could get even stronger. Black Legion could get even stronger if you had some possessed in it, I imagine, particularly with a Black Ruin of Damnation. But as I said, on the plus side, Failbadon fell over again. He's not all that. You know, this
But you say that.
He's not all that.
We won the game.
What? Yeah, but what was, are there any demons left?
Yes, kinda.
Well, do they have demon keyword? Do they have
the demon saves?
Do they?
Yes.
Damn it, we failed in our mission here. So the Grey Knights will press the button and disappear back to the battle barge with a flash of a teleporter. So we hope you enjoyed that battle report. Happy wargaming.